Hey, shalom, 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 shalom. So once again, you're under the sounds of the voice of your good brother, Kahan Tazadaq, true disciples of Christ. And so we done this last night, and we back up in here. And Yeshaya, why everybody mad at me, King? What's up with that, Ottawa? It may not be for you. It's only for a chosen few. But why they mad at me, General Yashua? It may not be for you. Don't be mad. I thought we was cool. Why you want me to die, homie? I'm on your side. Anyway, man, if it's not for you, just keep it moving. You know what I mean? Yo, man, we just trying to bring the truth out there. And so we're supposed to have some guests coming on here. There's supposed to be a brother coming on, Abraham, a sister, another brother, a few other people. So I'm going to try and give them the opportunity to come on here. But meanwhile, you know, Shalom, Linus, Shalom, is that Lena Mason? Is that Richard or is that his Red? And so if it's Richard, hey, yo, you could come through and say something, Richard. You already been in that situation. So you might be able to give a few pointers. And so I want to, before all of you that's knocking this, I want you to consider some statistics that I was looking at, all jokes aside. Now, the question is polygamy, I know most people mispronounce it. They call it polygamy, but the word is polygamy. And then when I say it, they say that I'm mispronouncing it. Au contraire. But nevertheless, you want to call it polygamy, we'll call it polygamy, but it's polygamy. Now, fact of the matter is, the question remains is, in our community, would polygamy be advantageous or will it be a disadvantage? Now, I want to give you some statistical facts that I want you to consider. All you sisters that's against it, we're going to ask you to really, really, truly come out of your emotion, sisters, and listen to what's going forth here through the Spirit tonight, right? Now, consider this. 1 in every 3. I looked at some 2019 statistics, but don't believe me, go and check it out yourself. 1 in every 3 so-called African Americans, so-called black men, whatever you want to call it, Negro, black, and colored, 1 in every 3 is likely to go to prison, to spend some time in prison by the time he's 30. 1 in every 3. And so even the members, I'm not lying, General Yashabam, even some of the members of Tazadaq has already been involved in, the penal system. I mean, stop me where I'm lying at. So if you count off 3 of them, 1 in every 3 is likely to go to jail or prison by the time he's 30. That's one problem. The other problem in the so-called black community is that since the 70s, because sisters are not looking at these facts, right? Your mind has been warped by Western society, and you're coming from a selfish perspective instead of the betterment of your children and the betterment of the community. Now, since the 1970s, a man by Tricky Dick, Richard Nixon, he declared a war on drugs. And after he declared the war on drugs, in comes Ronald Reagan in the 80s. And then so-called black men starts going to prison in an inordinate rate. And it has never stopped, to the point now that we're at 1 in every 3 goes to jail or prison. There's a shortage of the black men. We know what most of them are. They're in jail. Put it on top of that, many of you women right here, let me show you how hypocritical you are. And sisters, if this don't apply to you, don't get upset. Many of you women ride the carousel. You get on that carousel at the fairground, or when you go to Great Adventure, when you go to Disney World, you get on that carousel. Well, many of you women, you're riding a carousel when you're in your 20s, when you're a teenager. to your 20s, and then by mid-30s, you want to jump off of the carousel and you want to settle down. See, the problem with that is a real alpha male's not going to want to settle down with you once you jump off of that carousel, because there's going to be an echo down there. You're loose as a moose. So a real alpha is not going to want a woman like that. Understand that. And so a guy that she may not have actually been interested in previously, now she's willing to give him a time of day. She's willing to give him a time of day. Hold on, Nico. I'm going to let you in a minute. So now she's willing to give him a time of day. But these are the same women that's saying, oh, no, we're against polygamy. Well, what the hell is that then, my good brother Nico? They've been on the carousel for most of their lives. And then when they decide, hey, I'm tired of riding the carousel, they want to jump off. Now all of a sudden, polygamy is wrong, but that's what she's been doing. But the God of the Bible doesn't call it polygamy when she's doing it. The God of the Bible calls her a harlot, because her first husband was her only husband, and everything beyond that is adultery. Now, you have a lot of Israelite women that say that they believe in the Most High, but they don't keep these laws. Why? So now there's another problem. And on top of that, so most of these women are not getting married, the average black woman. I looked at some statistics, right? Check it out. You know, the most irate person when it comes to polygamy is a so-called black woman, popping her head, shaking her neck. But check this out. Most of them are not getting married. Statistics show that the so-called black woman is amongst the lowest to have actually not been married by the time she's 40. Many of them have never been married. All other ethnic groups rank way higher than the so-called black woman when it comes to marriage by the time that she's reached 40 years of age. So guess what happened? She gets in her 40s, she starts to get scared. She's wondering if she could still, you know what I mean, have children. She can't get on the carousel anymore because now her attraction level is going down. Her boobs that used to be up here is now down here, almost in the stomach. You understand what I'm saying? So she's wearing the training bras and all of that. So now when her attraction level leaves, she wants to settle down. But then it becomes, the only one that's going to be really interested in a woman like that is a simp male, right? But again, these are the same women that say they're against polygamy. But they've done it their entire lives. But they claim to be against it. Hypocrites. Hypocritical. So on top of that, you have many single parent homes. A man's not there. In most urban environments, statistics show that the female outnumber the male at least 2 or more to 1. A lot of men in jail. Then you bring in what they refer to as the alternative lifestyles. A lot of simps can't get women. They take an alternative move. A lot of women, they portray themselves as being really, hey, I don't need a man. Guess what they do? They take the alternative lifestyle. They take the alternative lifestyle and they engage with each other. All of this could actually been prevented if they were in favor of polygyny. But they're against it. Some of them say, I'd rather die before. Let me show you how possessive it is. They reverse roles. They say, I'd rather die before I share my man, before I share my meat. So she's referring to her man as a piece of meat that she controls. See, that's the problem. Many of these women think they own the men, and then they would take away what the Lord has given them, with the right that the Most High has given them. Yeah, one sister that came on last night, she missed the whole lecture. And this Eve, and this is why the Lord tells you, man, that a lot of these Eve, they can't be teaching none, not at all. She came on and said, show me in the law where it says a man can have more than one wife. And so we pulled the precept at the precept at the precept. And so Deuteronomy 21, verse 15 is right there in the law. It says, if a man has two wives, one beloved and the other hated. So that's telling you that is right there in the law, and that the Most High permitted it. That is the law. If a man had two wives, he might love one, he might hate the other. The Lord didn't say he couldn't have them. See, when the Lord doesn't want us to do something, is he not clear? Messiah, he says, thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not, you know what I mean? So that proves that adultery is not polygamy. He didn't say, thou shalt not commit polygamy. He told you that, Eve. He told you that, hey, man, once you spread your quiver, you can't take another man until that man is dead. How many of you keep that law? Hypocritical. Hypocrites. Hypocrites. See, these same women, most of the women, I'm telling you something, man. Most of the women that complain against polygamy, the men don't want them anyways. Many of them are obese. I mean, stop me where I'm lying at. Many of them are unattracted, and they refer to what they refer to themselves as alpha females. It ain't no damn such thing as an alpha female. Where they do that at? There ain't no such thing as an alpha female. What has happened is you taking on too much masculine energy, and a real alpha is not going to be attracted to that anyways. Not anyways. So we're going to open it up. And right here, we got the good brother Messiah, and he's going to speak. And I'm going to call a couple more people that's supposed to be on here and see what's taking them so long. So the question is, we want to stick to the subject matter. When you come on tonight, we're going to have structure. So the question is, my good brother Messiah, is polygamy advantageous to our community? If so, why? If not, why not? Round one. So the floor is yours, good brother.
What's going on, brothers? Shalom, all praises to the Most High. Polygyny, as it says in the scripture, it's only good. Anything that is in the scripture, it's not just there to say, do this because I said so. It's there because it's healthy for not just the nation, but all of those involved, the whole world, all of the nations. I'm always a fan of, I read a lot, you know what I'm saying? And one thing that I read throughout most species on Earth is that there are always more females than there are males. And I believe that it's done that way for a reason. And that's something that just happens naturally. Speaking from my own personal experiences growing up, I was one of those dudes who was raised in a household that was filled with females. And what they did, you know what I'm saying, was they'll tell you, you know, this is what a real man does, and this is what a real man does. And it's all of these simp behaviors. So they basically I was raised to be like basically a cuck. And when I got older and I realized that these females weren't treating me the way that a woman should act, I had to take a step back and reassess what was going on. And I didn't realize that it was my behavior that was making them act the way that they were acting. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, my father was there in and out. Like, he came and visited me on the weekends, and I spent some time with him, and he died when I was 11 years old. But after I was 11 years old, it was my mother. I had an older sister in the house. She's 11 years older than me. So that's two female authority figures over me, right? Then I have my aunts, and all of my cousins were basically all female. I'm surrounded by females. So I was basically raised by a bunch of feminists to be a cuck. Now, I feel like I was lucky to end up just being a little simpish. And I was never one of those dudes that go chasing a female. But, if they want to go, they can go. But where I went wrong is that when they started misbehaving, I was taught to just deal with it and not put them aside and not deal with them anymore. You know what I'm saying? And that's me personally where I went wrong. So, polygyny is good because when females see a man that is attracting other females, naturally they're automatically attracted to that man. And when you have females that are running around and they don't have any head, as they say now, and I'm listening to the scriptures, and I've only been in this truth for about 4 years now, so I don't really have scriptures, and I'm still learning. I'm still on the milk. But when I look at nature and what the scriptures say, it's completely in line. You know what I'm saying? If a man so-called cheats on a female, 9 times out of 10, what'll happen is she'll confront him with it. And if he acts like a little kid that done something wrong, she's going to leave him. And 9 times out of 10, that type of dude will run after her talking about, oh, please, please, please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. And that's unattractive to that female. Now, a man, you know what I'm saying? I don't like using alpha male, because I believe a man is above a male and a woman is above a female. But for all intents and purposes for this discussion, an alpha male, he'll go and lay with another woman or another female, and he'll be confronted by it by his female, and he'll be like something along the lines of, well, are you staying or are you going? Because he really, he doesn't care. Like, if you want to stay and get cared for, I'll care for you. But if you want to go because of what I've done, you can go, because there's more. There's way more. So I mean, polygyny is natural. It's good for both, the men and the women. And, operating your life in that manner, it's natural. That's really all it is. It's natural. And what I feel like is this beast system, this corporate beast system with feminism, it's a spell almost, or a subconscious indoctrination that takes the scripture and the laws of nature, and it flips everything on its head, and that causes chaos. And what I had to learn was that these females aren't wicked females, but they're treating me poorly because of the way that I was acting, because of the way that I was treated, because I was raised by females and I didn't have a man to bring me into my manhood. That's basically what it is.
Kahan. Linus, I see you have a comment in the room. You said a lot of men help to make these women wicked. We don't want to get off topic. We would love to hear a female come in the room and address the question: is polygamy advantageous for our community? If so, why? And if not, why not? We don't want to get taken off course here. We want to have some structure. I see the good brother. Come on in, Linus. Come on in, M. Dairy. You could come on in. There's a couple people that were supposed to show up here, a couple guests that was supposed to speak that are not on here yet. So we could take someone else. Yashabum, you got anything you want to bring up? Well, we await the arrival of these people, see if they're going to show up. But we would definitely like to have, we would hear from the side of a female. You're in favor of it. Hey, come on here, Yasha Allah, Arizona. You on the core? You've been missing in action anyways, brother. So yeah, go ahead, Yashabum.
Kahan. Well, since it's in the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and based on my observation and reading it for myself, and then also not only from my life experience, but from not only from my personal life experience, but from what's going on around me. When polygamy is practiced, that holds the man at a much higher standard. And by saying that is he has to be more than an excellent provider. And he also
can I stop? Can I just interject for a second? This is the misnomer that I need to clear up. A lot of you women, you think you want to get men in a polygamous relationship so that the man can take totally care of you. That's not how polygamy is supposed to work. Let me just bring out one precept to make this abundantly clear, because a lot of Israelites are putting out this false perception that the woman is not supposed to be a provider in that home. She's supposed to be a provider also. I need to clear this up with scriptures, man. Just let me put this vibration out here, because a lot of women, I think they're jumping on for that. Now it says in the book of Proverbs 31, and let's go down to verse 12, actually 13. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. You know what a ship does? It brings in goods. She rises also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household and a proportion to her maidens. So listen, sis, don't get it twisted. Don't think that you're just going to be sitting there doing nothing. If you have you are supposed to be providing income in that home. I need to make that abundantly clear. So if a lot of you women want to get in a polygamous relationship so a man could take care of you, that's off. Because if something happens to that man, you need to be able to provide for yourselves. Yeah, you do businesses together, but you still need to have a source of income coming in, just like the Proverbs woman. You understand? Polygamy does not mean a deadbeat wife.
Kahan.
In that, I can't emphasize that. There's a lot of misconceptions going around with that, and a lot of these Eves want to jump on that. But real priest got the Bible now, so go ahead, Yashipo.
Kahan. So what I mean, well, and further to further emphasize the point that it instills a sense of responsibility on the man, but he has to be an excellent provider. What does that mean? That means you have to care, for the home and provide for more than one household, not just the women, but the children that you bear as well. Just think about it. You got these men in the Bible. We went over precepts on yesterday's lesson, and what Gideon begat 70 something sons. You see what I'm saying? How tremendous of a task is that to lead that many little men into manhood? That's not an easy task. But you got women that be at home or even at the workplace that have an issue with dealing with just a couple of people that get on their nerves. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
and again, Adawam, this is not for everyone. Every man can't handle this.
Kahan. So, a man who has a spirit of Most High on him, I'm going to say only those type of men are able to lead a family of that great magnitude and take responsibility for their actions and for their development. Okay, so put that in the proper context of what's going on today. We just Kahan just went over some statistics. One every man is in jail. What do you think is going on with their children? Let's say if only 50% of them had children. Let's say if only 25% of them had children. These teenagers or these children out in the street running rampant. You got a lot of single moms riding on that carousel. And
can I interject, Yashabim?
Kahan?
I just wanted to say that one thing that I noticed in the household that I was raised up in, that my mother, who was a single mother with 4 kids, she was unable to provide any kind of structure. And when I went to live with my father, that's all we had was structure. We ate 3 square meals a day. At this time, you do this. This is your bedtime. This is your wake time. This is your time to go to school. This is your homework time. It was all structured, and I never got that from my mother. Not saying that there's no females out there or no women out there that can't do that, but I think that that's like a reoccurring thing in this society, in this Western culture. Go ahead.
Kahan, you're right. I mean, I've seen it too. It was 5 of us in the house. And my father, he passed when I was about 8, before the summertime. And we didn't do anything too outlandish, but I've seen, my mother break down a number of times, and she had a job, a good job.
My mom said she had 2 nervous breakdowns. She worked for like 30 years of her life, almost like 80 hours every single week. 4 kids, like I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I got to go to school the next day. I'm in school, falling asleep. You know what I mean? It's nuts.
Yeah. So when you look at it from that aspect, you know what I'm saying? There's just things that the Most High put in place based on how you were made physically and spiritually. And there's just, when too much gets put on a woman, there is a serious breakdown. There's a serious breakdown. And for a man who's undeveloped, the same thing happens. But if you have a man which is developed, you see what I'm saying, who was reared by, his father in the right way, excellent leadership skills, excellent, and, you working in your gift, you're exhorting all types of patience, humility, and this is what's really needed. And also a certain balance of sternness. You got to be able to, you know, see an apple for an apple and a lemon for a lemon. You can't deal with two different types of people with two different types of spirits or personality mentalities, so to speak, in the same way. Still consistent, but you just got to be wise. He who is wise wins souls, as is written in Proverbs. And that's really what it's about. But just think about the tremendous task of, you know, having 70 brothers and sisters. You know, that's a strong family. And everybody is, you know, everybody is provided for. Everybody is, everyone knows who each other's, you know, who each other is, keeping the feast days together, you know, building cohesion, you know, business. That's building up a nation. And that's showing, and that's also putting a greater standard out there for the following generation. Oh, this is what I need to do. You know, I'm gonna try to do exactly what my father did or do better. And that sense of family and nation is what builds it up. And we see it as it is written. You know, it happened with Jacob. He had 4 wives, and the nation was, you know, was strong. Each time we came out of captivity, it was because there was you had chiefs, you know what I'm saying? You had elders of certain tribes, or I'm gonna say tribe is the same thing as a family for the most part, or clan is the same thing as a family.
Yeah, so lucky. So the question, we want to stay on topic here, right?
No.
So the question is polygamy advantage for our community? And if so, why? If not, why not? Why don't you get on the call and answer some of these questions? We would love to have some females in here. So the question to the good brother Abraham that just came on out of one, the question is polygamy advantageous for our communities? If so, how can it help us? If not, why is it not advantageous, given the statistics that I just gave before you came on the call? 1 in every 3 black men end up in prison by the time he's 30. This is according to recent statistics in 2019. Most black women, the highest number of unmarried women in all ethnic groups is the so-called black woman. There's a lot of so-called black women that still have not married by the time that they're 40. Some black women are not married until 40 years of age. On top of that, you deal with the alternative lifestyle. A lot of men and women fall into that. So you would think, based on these statistics, a light would go off and sisters would automatically see that there's a shortage of men. So instead of engaging in polygamous relationships, it seems like some sisters would rather go the other side and stick with another female. So we want to know, is this advantageous? And if so, why? And if not, why not? You can go ahead and finish it up, Yashabun.
Kahan. Well, again, staying on topic and to the point, all that was just to reiterate, it drives the man to a greater sense of responsibility in all aspects of what his calling is, as what it means to be a man. You know, leading other men and to spread out, you know, that much and to, build cohesion. It does strengthen our nation when another man takes responsibility over his seed or another man's life, even spiritually. You know, that development creates a sense of responsibility.
Is there any sisters in the audience that's dealing with a polygamous marriage right now? We would like to hear from those sisters, or any brothers that's dealing with anything like that. We'd like to hear from that. And we'd also like to hear from the ones that's actually against it and why. You know, just show some decorum. Delet, you have anything you would like to say against this? Tariq Mack, you could come in the room and speak on it. Though we would like to have some females in here. Why is it the females never step up? Many of them say something from the background. Kimberly, she always steps up. But you done on that, Yashabun? These people are supposed to be on the call. They didn't show up.
Kahan, AVX, what you got?
Hey, Shalom, Akeem. I would like to hear from some of the females too, just to hear what the perspective is. But I think there are many advantages to that in implementing, whether you want to call it polygyny or whether you want to call it, multiple wives, however you want to call it. But really, the way it is and what it is building a nation, building a house. And the crazy thing is, that's exactly how they build corporations. That's all a corporation is, and you'll notice that it's a head, a master, and then a bunch of servants. And they basically take around, the seed of that business and cultivate it. And so they've taken these principles out of the home and implemented them on a mass scale, because originally that's what made us so strong as a nation, was the fact that our economics, our well-being, everything that we were was linked to our household and our family structure, right? Everything that we did. And so one of the things, as we're discussing tonight, is within that family structure, is it advantageous now to have multiple females in a house under the guidance of one man, colloquially speaking? Okay, just to keep it simple. And let's look at some of the plagues that are on us as a people, right? Tazadaq brought up some of the statistics about how many people are actually incarcerated. Let's also look at how many fatherless homes there are, right? Let's also look at, excuse me real quick.
Yeah, I mean the fatherless homes kind of goes right back to a lot of people being in prison, a lot of males being in prison.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
right, exactly. Fatherless homes, uncovered women, right? We've been talking about that. That's come up a few times, right? Women with no protectors, right? There's also no social feminine structure, no real social feminine structure. The feminine social structure that exists right now is one of competition, is one of mistrust, is one of backbiting. And what should exist is a social structure within the women that is one of nation building, sisterhood, desiring to see your legacy and the people around you flourish, right? But that's not exactly what's been ingrained in our women and in the women that we see today, which makes it difficult. It makes it a little bit difficult, because though it has these advantages, right? You now remedy having fatherless homes by keeping families together. You also remedy the divorce, because as you start implementing the divine structure, you're bound to your word, right? You're bound to your word. And I think you brought it out this week earlier, Tazadaq, the scripture on, if you take another wife, you cannot diminish any of her food, clothing, or marital duties. Do you remember that scripture off the top of your head?
I remember.
Okay, you want to pull it up for me real quick?
Oh, you mean what precept it is? I don't know the precept.
Yeah. I just wanted to grab the precept.
I believe that, and that was in the New Testament. That was 1 Corinthians 11. Let me pull it up.
What?
When Paul was talking about husbands should do benevolence to the wife.
Okay, so yeah, I think I got it right here. Hold on, let me see real quick. Okay, this is Exodus 21, actually, right? So this is another place in the law where it says, if a man take another another wife, right? So Exodus 21, verse 10, it says, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, which is her garments, her duty of marriage shall he not diminish, right? And so now by implementing this structure in the house, you have, as you guys have been talking about, men who are of a certain caliber that will ensure that they stay bound to the covenant that they've engaged in, because that's the duty of a man. Any covenant you're going to make, any vow you're going to take, has to be upheld basically until death, is what we've been discussing, right? And so this ensures that, and it starts to remedy some of those problems. You have the fathers back in the homes. You have now more role models. You have a stronger family structure. And now when you're getting into group economics is where this becomes very, very, very powerful. And if you really look at the history behind it, it's ultimately the reason why such drastic tactics have been taken against this structure, especially within our communities, right? Especially within our communities. So when you're getting into group economics now, you on just a very basic level, you start pooling together skills, talents, and then in today's world, that translates as a wage, right? An income, a wage. So on top of pooling together economic liquidity, you now pool together tasks and skills. So this is something that you'll really see that our forefathers made sure to do when they were getting women, right? If you go back and you read the story of Isaac, and then you read the story of Jacob, and you read the story of Abraham as well, and how Abraham's wife, Sarah, became, kind of a matriarch of legend within the culture. And how these women sought to emulate that behavior to bring about the will of the Most High, to put themselves aside and to bring that in. And so that's another advantage that you see come up throughout time, is that this family structure. Now they were pulling on not just qualified husbands, but qualified women, good examples. Okay. And you can see that they came from good families, and they were a integral part in establishing the will of the man who they were being assigned to, or who they were being betrothed to, in whatever the situation was. And so you start to have unified group economic households that, in terms of a population rate, with 2 to 3 women, you start to grow exponentially. Okay, you start to grow exponentially. That's 12, like we see 12 sons, and then if you track the sons of those sons down, you get over 100. Then next is over 400. And then boom, Israel becomes what? A huge nation in Egypt, so much so that they're fearful of their growth, of their strength, okay? That they have to hire Balak has to hire the services of Balaam to attempt to curse them and use their own nature against them. As we've been talking about, the man's nature to be, attracted to a feminine figure, and the man's nature to want to be united with that which is like himself, and to cleave unto another flesh, being used against him now to bring things down. I think we've talked about that a couple times. But there are a lot of advantages. In terms of disadvantages, well, there's going to be challenges to anything. I don't think you can even look at the scriptures and say everything worked out perfectly for all of the parties involved, even in these relationships. There were obviously challenges, and one of the things that you see come up a lot is competition between the women, and even feelings of jealousy. Those things are going to be natural. It's now, how do you harness them? How do you facilitate them into a constructive thing, right? How do you teach your women not to be jealous over each other, but to be, it's right to have a desire unto your husband, right? So, these are things that are foreign to us because the programming right off the break is what? That your value is associated to your sexuality as a female. And that, as long as it's on your terms, you remain in power and control. It doesn't really matter about your external circumstances and if that could be better if you were in a different house or situation or familial structure. But as long as it's on your terms, you're okay, which is a dangerous place to be. Dangerous place to be. And so these are things we want to keep in mind. There might be competition, but you can also facilitate that to, build a stronger house, build a stronger bond. And then there's opportunities now for the women within the house to form a unique societal structure and support system, because a lot of times women can't, they don't communicate the way men do. They don't think the way men do. So it can be hard for them sometimes to approach a man because a man is a man. And from off break, they have a certain amount of power and presence, especially if you're talking about, the term's thrown out there, alpha male, but it's really a man who has a will and a purpose and isn't going to compromise on his duties to get that will and purpose done. So, when you have that, that starts to now rub off on certain people a certain way, and they've been programmed against that. And we talked about the feminism as well. That's something you would have to. It's a remedy, right? This familial structure can help remedy that, but you also have to watch out because some of these things will use this as an opportunity to get in, and still work their sorceries, so to speak. Okay. And that's why when you embark on this journey, you have to be very, very vigilant. You're letting basically another gateway into your house, or you're about to associate yourself with another doorway to bring life in, right? As the purpose of what a woman is, what her womb does, right? And so you have to keep in mind, like we've been talking about, whatever that woman might be carrying with her, you're about to let that in your house, right? Whatever her deficiencies are, you're about to let that in your house, or whatever things might come up as challenges, you have to keep those in mind because they can be used against you. I've heard and I've experienced myself people who enter these waters unprepared, and then their house becomes domain to homosexual appetites and things like that between females, licentiousness and whoremongering, because there is still a protocol. If you read through the word, you actually can't lay with two women in the same night. You have to wash yourself, you have to be clean, and then you have to wait until evening, or wait until that period of time is correct, and then you can enter another woman. And that, you'll see, is a direct command to prevent things like we see now, sexually transmitted infections. Because that's really all that is. That's uncleanliness. It's uncleanliness. They want to put whatever words to it they can, but it's uncleanliness. When you penetrate a woman on her period, when you have multiple partners and you don't clean yourself, when your hygiene is very bad, that's going to cause those things, sexually transmitted infections. And so this would also remedy that issue that's within the Black community, being one of the highest communities to spread things like this with the quote unquote HIV epidemic, right? And so, it has many advantages, like I said, like I was pointing out, but you have to be aware of the pitfalls that may be there. I'll throw you guys out some reference material. Patricia Dixon, she wrote a book called "We Want for Our Sisters What We Want for Ourselves." That's a good book. There's another book called The Polygamist Papers by Hondo Solomon. That's a good book that you can check out. And then I think you guys, there's another book written by, what's her name? We talked about it the other night, Taz.
Shahrazad Ali.
Yeah, exactly.
White Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I mean, I don't know what you guys, if you guys have anything to add to that.
Yeah, I'll say this, brother. And before I bring on Imam Abdullah, and you know, I'll say this: any man that's against this, you're a damn simp. I don't care if you don't like it, you're a simp. Any man that's against this is a damn simp. Given the statistics, you're a simp. You're not only a damn simp, you're under your woman. That's your problem. I don't care how big you are. I don't give a damn who don't like it, man. I don't care how big you are or whatever. You are a simp, and your woman is controlling you because it's in your nature. You understand what I'm saying? You're lying. You understand what I'm saying? You're lying. And so you'll go out. I'm gonna tell you, if you're engaging in some kind of porn, that's polygamy, right? But it's really adultery because you're lusting and you're not committing any kind of obligation. You're not obligating yourself to that woman. Really, this is actually designed to protect women. It will actually eliminate a lot of these sisters out here that's poor, struggling, and so on and so forth. And again, I got to reiterate this. Sisters shouldn't come into a polygamous marriage thinking that, oh, well, he's going to take totally care of me. What you're making is supposed to go in that home also.
Right, exactly.
You don't get a free ride. It's not like that. Again, it goes back to what I read in the book of Proverbs, the 31st chapter. You know, she was out, she was gathering things, she was working with her hand, she was like the merchant ships, right? So she was bringing things into that home. It's not a free ride. This is one of the primary advantages is economics.
Right.
You got to think economically, like Out-of-wedlock was saying. You got to think economically. How can this? And you got people saying, "Well, I'm against it." What the hell you mean you against it? Like, when will it be right? You know what the simp men say? Well, I don't. It's not right for me right now. Well, when will it be right? You think you get another lifetime or something like that? When will it be right? Because it's prophetic. We read it last night in Isaiah, the 4th chapter, verse 1. That's not talking about in the kingdom of heaven when those 7 women are going to take hold of one man. That's talking about right here, man, on this earth in captivity. You understand? So, hey, man, you could like it, understand it, believe it or not. I'm telling you, any man that's saying he's against it, he's a simp and he's under his woman. And the reason he's saying that is because your woman have you. And you're trying to be very careful of what you say in front of your woman. And no matter how masculine you're trying to come across, you're not coming across as a real man until you realize that you're supposed to be the head. And you got to have a head to be a head. You got to realize that. So Imam Abdullah, are you there?
Assalamu alaikum.
Hey,
And shalom.
Alaikum, my brother. Salam.
And shalom to Isaac's side of the family.
Assalamu alaikum and shalom. And my brother, you might have a problem with my good brother, but my good brother right here is a Muslim. He's a Muslim.
Shalom to Isaac's side of the family. Peace, bro.
Hey, shalom, peace. Assalamu alaikum, king. Hey, so Imam Abdullah. So this is the question, right?
So really, bro.
Well, really? Hold on. I want to lay the foundation. I'm going to tell you the topics we're trying to stay on. Is polygamy advantageous to our communities? And if so, why? If not, what is the disadvantage? That's the topic.
Say that again, bro, so I can hit you right on key.
Is polygamy advantageous to the so-called Black community? Because we're talking specifically our community, right? Is it advantageous? Right. If so, what are the benefits? If not, why is it a disadvantage? I'm gonna tell you one of the problems, man. You know what? A lot of sisters are against it. Let me put this out there. A lot of sisters don't love their sisters. They're envious and jealous of their sisters. It's too much competition. She feel like she got to compete. They can't faction in their head that a man can love 2 of them equally at the same way. They think it has to be competition. But go ahead, brother. The floor is yours.
Most definitely. But even in the midst of this, man, I'm going to be bouncing questions because since I spoke with you earlier, I just wrote down 3 key things that play a part in all of this. And the first thing would be the laws, and it most definitely is. It's beneficial to our community because it's our heritage, and our heritage is the Bible, the Torah, all the way up to Psalms, to David and Solomon, to when we reach kingship, coming from Abraham, and all the way to the we call him, Ibn Mary, the son of Mary, Jesus. This is pretty much our bloodline. So within this Bible, you can pretty much see how the women operate and how these men operate. And I just want to refer back to that first and foremost, because I don't want to speak from my own opinion at all in any of this. And I'd rather go back to I got the laws, I got the woman's faith for the next key point. Her faith plays a part in this. And what else plays a part in it is the circumstances. So I'm gonna say that it's definitely legal and definitely a benefit in our heritage and our culture. And this is, I believe, part of the problem. Like the brother said, women deal with pride issues and they always trying to compete, instead of looking at things from a moral aspect, and if they see this woman needed help, and it could be no sex involved. It can be just something that benefit her financially, but y'all had to be tied in by marriage or bondage just to help the situation. That would be one of the circumstances. But even within this is laws, and I feel like if we express the laws, like for coming from Islam, like we have to provide for these women. It's equal treatment. Like if this one has land in the house, and bills paid in the car, then this one has to have that equal treatment. It can't be, what is it called? Favoritism, with the wives, even within our laws. I'm not familiar with the laws of the Torah and how it operates when having multiple wives, but the reason I believe women would down this or turn this, because men would agree with this, but not really want or even understand the laws that come behind this. And that's the most important point. Like, this ain't nothing you can just freestyle on and just, go off on your own whims and lower natures. You would really have to have this Bible and these scriptures guiding you the whole time, making sure you're doing this properly. And I believe, with that and a woman's faith, when her faith is to the right point where it needs to be, it wouldn't even be an argument.
Check this out, King. So, I mean, when you say the laws, like everyone on the call is an Israelite, right? So, of course, we will be enforcing the laws. See, without the laws, you will be talking about something like swinging, just going out, having sex with someone. There's no obligation, no commitment. So, yeah, all of the laws got to come in effect. Like the good brother Abraham was just saying that you can't lay with both of them in the same night, right? Your seed comes out. If you know the law, I mean, you become unclean.
Right.
So, yeah.
So,
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, I just felt like that was one of the most important things. And the next one after that, I got 3 bullet points. I told you the laws was the first one. The woman's faith is the next one, That plays a key part, I believe, and that I believe that's kind of on the man to encourage her and make her knowledgeable of the situation. I mean, nobody can deny the scriptures. I mean, if we look at Abraham, not and then Abraham had Isaac, he had Ishmael. Ishmael had Jacob and Esau. Jacob name got changed to Israel. Jacob had multiple wives, and his family flourished. They turned into an army almost, and the nation flourished because of this. This is one of the reasons our nations flourish.
That is the reason,
right? And then you go, if you look at Solomon, these men that we admire in the Bible,
But his folly, you know, a lot of Eves like they like to twist things up about Solomon because they'll say that destroyed Solomon. I had to cut some sister earlier right before I started this. I posted a link and she was like, "Yeah, that destroyed Solomon." That's not what destroyed Solomon. Him going outside of his nation. Those women turn his hearts towards other gods. Understand what thy readers. But people that's not for this, they were trying to look for negatives and they really don't understand the scriptures. They don't even understand what they're reading, and they would take that, oh yeah, we see it destroy Solomon. No, it's not. His love for these other women turned them against the Most High. So the Most High rains down certain events against Solomon because of that.
I mean, what's the difference in the government, bro? I mean, we get pushed to the side and they marry the government.
Well, yeah, the government's just the government is the polygamist now.
Exactly. You know, so they make it look bad. Everything righteous is turned to, you know.
And here's what they don't get. Because I tell them, if you do this, you don't go to the government and get a marriage certificate. Because every marriage certificate, every birth certificate, all of that has a CUSIP number on it. That means you are owned by someone. You owe something to someone. You understand? It all has a CUSIP number on it. Go and check it out for yourself. Every marriage certificate, every death certificate, every birth certificate, it has that CUSIP number. And guess what? You know what these people that don't know that love their system so much? In the event that, let's say, Shanae marries Bobo in the hood marriage. You know what I mean? They was working in society and they incur a lot of debt. Don't you know they can't divorce until that debt is settled? They can't. They won't allow them a divorce until that debt is settled. It's determined how that debt is going to be settled because of that CUSIP number on their marriage certificate. Because a government has a legal trust and they own that marriage, so they don't have to allow them to get a divorce. A divorce. Think about it. Once you get married, since you went to ask for permission, you have to ask for permission to get a divorce. Am I lying? You can't just say, well, we're divorced. You got to go down to Daddy Judge, which is a creature of the state, and ask for a divorce. And you got to come up with certain criteria to determine whether or not he's going to grant you that divorce. Unless a judge's stamp of approval is on that divorce certificate, you're not divorced. That's how it works. That's how it works. So they own you. Especially with a marriage certificate. They own you. Any kind of certificate, that CUSIP number is on it. That means you're property of them. You are a commodity. And that's what slavery really is. So all of the people say, nah, you got a bootleg marriage. You're not really married. Like IUIC Nate was saying, you're not really, well, we don't want to be married that way because we don't want to be owned by the government. We draw up. You could do it with a UCC1. Run an ad in the paper, do a common law marriage. UCC1, you could do the same thing. It's 9 o'clock. Most people don't know how to do it. They just rather run down and, hey, sign themselves over to the government and become property of the state, enemy of the states. What was you saying, Brother Abraham?
You could do what's called a ketubah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the so-called legal ramifications, yeah, I mean, the ketubah is the way that we should go. But I mean, because, you know, in this system, right, they will say, well, we can't acknowledge this as a legal marriage. Then that's when we could actually, you know, bring in the UCC and the affidavits. And, you know, affidavits, same thing they're going down to do. Only we're removing the preacher and we're removing the state. Because even if you get married in a church, guess what? The preacher is taking that marriage certificate down to the state, and a CUSIP number is still getting on that. CUSIP number is still going on it. Even if you do it through the justice of the peace, you're still going to have that CUSIP number, and they control you by that.
I was going to bring this out real quick.
All right, go ahead.
It was just real quick. Just read this. It's Mattiyahu, chapter 25. All right. Just read it.
bride of Christ, the five virgins, the five
Right.
virgins. Yeah, yeah,
Right. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So here you have Hamashiach, right? And he's going to give you a parallel of the kingdom. And it says, the kingdom of heaven shall be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. That they that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them, but the wise took their vessels and took their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go out and meet him. Then all the virgins arose, trimmed their lamps, and the foolish said to the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps have gone out. But the wise answered, saying, no. Right? So we know this story. Okay? And how many virgins went into the bridegroom chamber with the bridegroom?
5.
Oh, so what it could be saying that he was coming to marry 5 choice wives, essentially.
Yep.
Right? He was really coming for 10. There were 10 waiting for him, let's say. There were 10 waiting for him, and 5 actually made the cut. And so there, I mean, it's in the Torah, it's in the law, it's in the New Testament. It is our culture, it's our heritage. It can be a very, very, very powerful tool when used correctly.
Peace, bro. Hey, can you?
Shalom, we got you.
Oh, okay.
Did Abraham just go out?
No, I'm here. I was just saying it could be a powerful tool when we use it correctly. That was it.
Oh yeah.
You know, I just wanted to bring that out, that imagery is used even in the New Testament.
Kahan.
Yeah. So, brother, Imam, you want to let your rib speak? What's her thoughts on that? We need some sisters here.
No real. I can't provide one.
And what about that other sister you say would speak? She's not willing to speak now. We need some. Why sisters never come forward, man? What's up with that, man?
Yeah, that was my sister. She got caught up in the mess.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a couple people, a couple sisters speaking up, but they didn't even show up. I see a couple in the room, but it's always the men actually giving the feedback. Okay, Joanna is going to be coming on here in a second. Is there any sisters in the room, or any of you in contact with any sisters that would, dare to speak on this instead of just typing things in the chat room? Anyone want to speak out on this? What is your view? Is it advantageous? If so, why? If not, why not? We'd like to hear from you. We'd like to hear from the other side instead of playing in the background.
So yeah, I mean, we can talk a little bit more about the group economics behind it. I think that can be a powerful thing. Does anybody have any ideas about how you would go about establishing, a house using group economics in such a way? Unless, who's that? Yawan has anything to say?
Yeah, Joanna. So Joanna, the question is polygamy advantageous to our community? If so, why? If you think is a disadvantage, it will cause problems in the community. Why do you say that? That's the question. That's the subject matter here.
It was a couple brothers that brought out some strong points. I think it was Yashabam that said that it keeps the father in the household. So I think that's probably one of the biggest advantage. And then I think it was another brother. I think the AV guy. He said the group economics.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see nothing bigger than that, keeping the father in the household and group economics, because it's keeping the father in the household, which is building us as a nation. And then economically, I mean, that is like a nail in the coffin right there. I mean, you can't get no better than that. Keeps the male in the household, and it's building up our nation, and it's building up family, you know, dealing with our economics. Yeah, I think it's a big advantage.
Yeah. So why do you think we need sisters to answer this. But we can't answer why so many sisters are against it. Some of them are pretend that they're for it until it really happens, and then you see a different vibration comes out. Like, why do you think, brother, so many sisters are against it? Well, we love to hear from some of these sisters, man. It's in the background. It's always, wow.
I think because it's promoted. It's promoted since they was younger, and they through, I think, mostly through music and television, of how relationships is supposed to be, and is contrary to the scriptures. But I think that's one of the biggest thing, is that that's what's promoted to them.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's also a huge divide that this beast that we're living in has made between specifically the black male and the black female. You know, there's a lot of things there that this beast preys on subconsciously, and like you said, they program it into you. But now it's just a part of what we are, and the only way to overcome it is to acknowledge it, is to actually say, okay, well, yeah, it's there. Here's the way, you know, we've kind of been pigeonholed to go. So that means we need to make an extra effort to overcome that now. But yeah, we could talk a little bit more about the group economics. One of the things I've done a couple times with the people around me is just gone through like thought experiments where you kind of just break down an issue, or an outcome and a goal, and that's actually something that's really powerful to do with your rib, with your wife, with your Isha, because then it'll demonstrate to her how you as a man think and how your thought processes differ. And then, once you get an idea of how you guys are, how you guys think, you can start looking for where there might be places to build up the house, right? Especially around the talents that have manifested so far. And then, when you pull those resources together, how you can acquire things like land, housing, right? You can leverage credit. You can establish businesses. And these are some of the things that are much easier to do as a group. And now you're a group united internally than it is to do as one individual, if that makes sense.
Right. Right. Makes sense to me, man. I can't see how I can't see how brothers would actually be against it. I don't even see how they would justify it. I would like to hear again. We always hearing from men. I would like to hear from some of the sisters as to why they're against it, and if they're for it, why. Too bad I didn't reach out to any sisters that's actually already into polygamous relationships, so they could actually discuss the matter. Might shine some light on some of these. I mean, because they're doing it anyways. They've done it. They've been with most of these women has been with multiple men. They've been with multiple men, and lots of times it was actually not even no commitment.
And I think they feel empowered because of that, because it's on their terms.
Right.
It doesn't matter as long as it's on my terms. It's my body. I could do what I want with it, blah, blah, blah. So that's what makes them feel powerful, the fact that it's on their terms.
I could tell you that, from single motherhood, from a female that doesn't know what's what, raising a boy, You know what I'm saying? And also in like Catholic and Christian churches, they push that doctrine. You know, a real man you'll marry that, you know, that single mother that's got 3 kids by 4 different guys. You know what I'm saying? A real man will do this, and a real man will do that, and a real man will do that. And pretty soon it becomes a subconscious.
right, 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 right,
You
right,
know?
right,
Simple.
That's
right,
really
right.
what it is.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. You got a lot of men like that now, man. They think and they believe that, well, I'm right. I don't think it's a good thing right now. Why not?
But the thing is, like, this is also why a lot of sin perpetuates, is because in the opportunities when you could be cutting the sin, we're allowing it to continue.
Right.
You know, imagine
You
if the
have-
first time the woman divorced her man, she was put to the side, not remarried again until he were to die, with a mark of divorce on her and a child. That's going
It
to
should
make
be
that.
happening. That's what
Huh?
should be happening.
Right,
That's what
exactly.
should be happening.
Right. And that's going to make that
But
divorce
imagine,
that much harder to
we
swallow.
got, we got a bunch of, like, you know, men that were raised to be simps, and they're raising other men now.
And that's why, you know, divorce was very unlikely in the older
Right.
times. They didn't have those options that Esau has actually given them now. So they had to go back to their husband. She would run to her father's house for a while, and her father would say, I can't take care of you. You need to go back to your husband.
Right.
And she would go back to her husband. But Esau has actually changed that. And most of, you know, our women, they're not
Big
sharp
daddy
enough to
corporate
see
state.
that.
The Big daddy corporate state. It's all about the contract. Get them into a contract.
You know, so, you know, it's important that we kind of fight against those things. And it's true. I mean, you know, we also have to we have to think ahead too, because we know how they've armed against it in the past. And I think this is the real step forward. We're going to start seeing, you know, a lot of this be more successful and more powerful, and then we'll see exactly how these people want to play it. You know.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of the simps, man. I think they're gonna be losing their you know, the stability, the little stability that they thought that they had. Because a lot of people are gonna get caught up without their nation. A lot of men are not. You know, they think it's attractive to be under their woman and having their woman tell them what to do. Really, she's not. She's gonna eventually lose attraction to you. She's probably getting some sort of financial substance from you. But it's really unlikely that a woman is really attracted to a man like that. It's not really a real go getter, take charge man. Woman doesn't want a man that's always catering to her, listen to what she's saying. Sometimes she's saying things to you. She's literally that's one of her crap tests, and you're failing it, and you're not even realizing that you're failing her test. And when utterly she ups and leave, you're gonna be wondering what's happened. Hey, I should have listened to you, brothers. So often too late then. So often too late then. But hey, man, you got a lot of men that's hey, they're strong. And, you know, they get behind the women and they think, you know, that's gonna get them some for JJ. That's why they do it. That could be the only reason that they do it. How could you not? I mean, given the statistics, man. I mean, look at
That's
the
the only reason that they do it. Oh, she's so pretty. Look at her booty. I'm gonna get that.
yeah. I mean, given the statistics, shortage of men. You know, 1 in 3 so-called black men end up in prison by his. You know, time he's 30. 1 in 3, man. You turn off 3. 1 in 3. Those are the recent statistics. Most recent, 1999. I mean, 2019. 1 in 3.
It's crazy because I'm also looking at this book right here, and it goes over, you know, just the death rates as well, right? And that the African and male, female, and male death rates due to
7 to 8
prevented,
years different.
right? Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So what, you know, it just seems to me that the more you're uncovered, the more risks there are involved. The more this beast is out to consume you.
Right.
Yeah.
They're likely to live 7 to 8 years longer than the average so-called black man. 7
Crazy.
to 8 years longer. They're likely to get married last amongst all ethnic groups, the so-called black woman. She's likely to get married she's likely to be the only woman that has not been married at least once by the time she's reached 40. Then the divorce rate is highest among so-called black women.
Right.
Something's wrong, man. Something's very wrong. And they don't see any of that. They want to ignore all of the demographics and say, well, I don't want anyone else on my meat. They're referring to him as a piece of meat. And the man, you know, what happens, I can tell you what happened, man. She'll try to perform for him incredibly, like a porn star, you know, just to keep him under her power. And then he'll fall. He'll listen to a call like this. He'll be like, damn, what these guys are saying making sense. And then she'll put it on him, Yashabum. She'll put it on him like a porn star, and that nigga will go right back to sleep. Nah, man, I can't talk to your dudes anymore, man. You almost cost me your marriage. No, we almost woke you up. And you might realize it too late. But you was almost awakened because the benefits that could actually think about it. See, one of the problems is these women, they can't get along with each other. It's too much hate amongst these sisters. There's no sister love, right? You know,
Right.
I mean, think about it. A woman just had, a baby. Her sister wife's there, helping her with the baby. She might have, she's sore, can't move around. Sister wife could be helping out with things that she can't do right now. You understand what I'm saying? You're tired right now. I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna handle this. It's done out of love, but you know what? With them, it's done out of competition. It's a competitive thing. I'm gonna make him love me more. You know what I mean? Turn it into a competition. That's the wrong reason. And the other thing, I think one of the major problems, Ottawa, is because they're using sex as the principal measuring method of determining should this polygamy be, favorable or not. They're not looking at all of the other benefactors. They're saying, wow. They just sit there, imagine a man having sex with another, and they lose their damn mind. Because, they look to him as their possession. Like the scriptures say about the man, your wife is your possession. They're looking at you like that. You're their, I own you. We're equal. That's where the whole problem comes in. Because now you're starting to go against what the scriptures say, right? We got specific roles, man. And think about this, right? In the animal kingdom, right? Let me put it to you like this. Let's deal with science for a second. In the animal kingdom, almost every female species has to be the one that carries the egg, except for something. There was something, I think it was a seahorse or something like that, that the male ends up carrying in the baby or whatever. But almost every other creature in the animal kingdom or animal ends up females carrying in the egg. Now, I don't know if most of you men, I deal with science also. When you look at it scientifically, when male ejaculation, right? Just a male ejaculating once, he has more sperm cells in one ejaculation than a female have of her eggs her entire lifetime. That's scientifically true. So she's already, I don't know if you know, a man could actually still have sperms up until the point that he dies. You understand? When a woman gets a certain, they call it menopause. When she reaches a certain age, her egg starts to fade. She has a limited amount of eggs, right? This is how we reproduce. So this is why, what is it called? Polygyny, whatever it's called, not polygamy, but the female portion would not work because she has a limited amount of eggs. And when she gets pregnant once, that's it for her for that season. For the next 10 months, she's out of commission. Whereas if the Most High says be fruitful and multiply, the man could go over there and impregnate that one, and impregnate that one. and keep going. He could reproduce. So if it's about being reproductions and reproducing, the man in almost every species is much more reproductive than the female. And the female is stuck where the egg is. So she has to carry that egg within her. Whereas the male, he doesn't have to do that. He could go out and refertilize more eggs and more eggs and more eggs. So just nature in itself, the way that we're designed, should tell you that we're designed differently. Because if that man impregnates you, you're out of commission for a whole season. Unless you decide to kill the fruit of your womb, like many of you do, which is really murder, right? Otherwise, when you lay with that man, if that man impregnates you, that's it. But that same man that impregnates you, he could go and impregnate her, and impregnate her. So nature itself should tell you that we're constructed differently. So when a woman says, if he does it, I could do it too. No, you can't. No, you can't. You could do it with these things that Esau has developed called contraceptions, like condoms, these injection shots that he give you, and everything else that he gives you to prevent the sperm from reaching the eggs. Otherwise, naturally, you wouldn't be able to do that. You wouldn't be able to do it. So that alone should tell you that men and women are constructed differently. And for a woman to say, well, you know what? You're going to be with me. This is what Esau made our women believe. You're going to be with me for the rest of your life. How does that work out? You know what that creates? It creates what they refer to as alternative lifestyles. You understand? It creates what they refer to as all of these different kind of alternative lifestyles and all of the other problems that you have in our communities, because you made your husband. I'm gonna tell you, Eves, right? I hate to bust your bubble, but I'm gonna be the one to do it. When he's telling you, nah, I'm not interested, he's lying. He's lying, and he's gonna cheat on you eventually. You call it cheating. He's gonna go out and he's having sex with someone that there's no commitment, there's no obligation, and he's comfortable with that. And you think that, oh, well, he's being honest, but the thing is, you're doing it to him as well. You're doing it to him just as well. And so instead of being honest and making him obligated, what you're really doing is you're causing him to go out behind your back and do it, because that's what's going on. And you like it, understand it, believe it or not. And the only reason he's not doing it is because he's a simp. He's a simp, and he can't pick up women. The average woman don't want him because he's weak. What you got, Malak? Malak, ya Allah.
Hello, brother.
You got some background noise.
Huh?
No, you clear now. Go ahead.
Now I was in and out the train station, out in New York B. You know what I'm saying? My phone shut off, man. I was at zero, man. I had to go all the way from Harlem all the way to New Jersey, man. I just got back.
Yeah.
So that's all that time.
I was going back when I talked to you earlier today, man.
Yeah.
So the question is this, brother. Is polygyny advantageous to our community? If so, why? If not, why not?
Well, a lot of our men are locked up in jail, or they're homos, and polygyny, you know what I'm saying, is definitely a way to build our nation, because we are dying. We're getting put to death all the time, and it's not for everyone. It's only for alpha males. It's only for blue pill, what you want to call it? I mean, no, red pill. I'm sorry. I didn't say blue. Red pill, MGTOW. It's only for real masculine men. Because if a man can't handle one wife, he definitely can't handle a second wife or a third or whatever. It's not for everyone. But I'm gonna say this: that all our forefathers were polygynous, even the ones that didn't practice more than one
Hold
wife.
on a second. Hold on a second. We have a scoffer here in the room.
Yeah, I can't see it.
That the Messiah condemned polygamy in St. John 4:16. You do error.
Pull
Know the word of the
it
Most
up, pull it up, pull it up. Pull it up. Let me see what they're talking about. Pull it up.
Not what would be better is for him to come in the room and pull it up himself or her, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'll pull it up, and you know, I this is what I mean about
Wait a minute. Wait. I know it ain't who I think it is, man. I'm a block him. I know it ain't my shot, man. I can see it right there. Emirate Preeminence, Multimedia.
Oh, that's him?
No. For what I've seen, Multimedia Productions. Nah, it can't be him. It got to be somebody with a similar name. It can't be who I think it is.
Okay,
it can't be the brother.
Yeah, he said polyandry. Polyandry.
Okay. No, we're not talking about polyandry.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. All right. All right. Yeah, we know that's not. We know they can't do that. We know they can't do that. But
no, I'm making sure because that brother's a cool brother, man. I know dang on well he ain't gonna talk against that. Me and him had a lot of conversations. I know who he is.
All right.
I was making sure that ain't nobody making up a fake account or something because I know damn well that Masha Yala, you know what I'm saying, Yashua, I know he don't make no sense. So
what do you think? What do you think? Some brothers. Let's get Brother Vlad on the court. Brother Vlad said he's against it. We don't think Vlad is still out there. He said he's against it. He don't think. What do you think that? Malakia Ali Salaki.
What do you say that a brother said he's against it?
Yeah, he said he don't think this is the time for it.
This is not the time for it.
Right.
I need to find that scripture. It's a scripture that shows us, you know what I'm saying? Brothers like to, there's some number one question. Where do you see polygamy in captivity? A lot of them ask that question, and we need to show that. Because we know that obviously if you're a man with substance and money, it's easier to do polygamy because Solomon was rich, a lot of men was rich. So we need to have a scripture to show our people in captivity doing polygamy.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what? Isaiah 4:1, by the way, is in captivity, but that's a different story. So, any brother, so I don't know what he's asking, but polygyny there is a scripture showing, by the way, Hebrews 13:4, I believe it is. Marriage is honorable in all, and if been defiled. You know that means polygyny too? Because when it says marriage is honorable in all, that means all marriages lawfully is honorable, and that includes polygyny. Mm-hmm. And polygyny, you know what I'm saying? Anyone want to ask about
the link in your email? I
don't know who was I want to hear him.
To kill your Israel. We need a sister to speak ahead. Hey, Brother Vod, check your email. I sent the link to your email. To kill your Israel. You got a lot. To kill your Israel. The question is polygamy advantageous for our communities? If so, why? If not, why not? Click on the link. Let me post a link in the room. Let's get some more people in here. We would love to hear from some sisters. We want some sisters in here to hear their perspective. Is polygamy advantageous for our community? If so, why? If not, why not? We went over the scriptures last night. It's definitely lawful according to the Bible. No one came up against that. Go ahead, Malak.
Yeah, when it comes to First of all, I mean, let's get the terminology straight. We got polygamy. Polygamy can mean a man have more than one wife or a woman have more than one husband. You know what I'm saying? Which is madness. Polygyny is a man having more than one wife. That polyandry and all that, that's that woman having more than one husband.
Huh.
We dealing with polygyny, not polygamy. Polygamy.
We know that's not lawful in the scriptures. We know that's not lawful.
No, I know, but people like to use polygamy. That can mean you can do it. Polygamy is an open relationship. Like, you know, Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, they do lesbian shit and they do all types of madness, all types of homo stuff. So we need to definitely
get in the spirit.
Okay, in spirit. Wait a minute, somebody's on the other line. Something I'm hearing like an echo.
Yeah, it's you. The echo.
Yeah, it's you. The echo. Okay, Salaki.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, Vada. Mute him, man. A lot of noise coming from here.
I just want to say, Lord, I just want to say for the record that I'm not against polygamy. I do understand the benefits of it, and I do fall in line with the scriptures. All I'm saying is that, hold on. Yeah, this guy, hold on.
It's him. It's him.
Yeah, all I'm really using is logic and reasoning and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? In my approach when it comes to my wife may feel or how anybody else feel about it. I'm just surveying the field and looking at what we have to really deal with. Now, the best way I can explain this is this. I'm gonna break it down this way. Until a war between the fake and the real happens, polygamy is going to be a problem more than, and it's going to be a hindrance more than it is going to help us, even though there are significant benefits, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to polygamy. Now, and this is something I feel like everybody should listen to.
So, can you provide some supporting evidence to what you're saying?
Supporting evidence?
Problem?
Okay, here's some supporting evidence. I've seen a documentary, right?
Shalom, shalom. All praise to the Most High. How y'all brothers doing?
Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Vard is talking right now. You can speak right after this. And we could get that sister in the room to kill your Israel. But go ahead, Vard.
Yeah, I seen a documentary a while back, and this is one of these things where you know what I'm saying, when you see certain things, it opens your eyes to the reality of, you know what I'm saying, our people. There was this sister I seen that was in tears because she was basically having to go through, and this is one of our people that you know what I'm saying, I think one of our tribes in Puerto Rico, you know, so one of our sisters out there. The problem with Puerto Rico is there's a lot of rich men, right, who get to come down there and sleep with them, and she's been going through this since she was like, what, damn near a child. Men just able to just come into her life because she's in a impoverished situation, that men are able to come into her life and do her just any kind of way and then leave, you know what I'm saying? And that to me may open my eyes, because I realized that, okay, not only is that a problem there, that's basically all America is. It's a wonderland for you know what I'm saying, for men, you know what I'm saying, and prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? So there's a silent contract that some of our men out here, right? That some of our men, not all of them, some of our men, there's a silent contract with our women too. Not all of them, but some of our women, where basically there's a silent contract with the men is, if I have money, I get to treat you any kind of way, and I get to have my way with you, whether I'm in this truth or not. And then on the flip side of that, the silent contract with the women is basically, she has a contract with Esau, basically saying that if I can have everything I want and this man, then I don't need to necessarily act right or do right. So the reason why in the beginning I said there has to be a war between the real and the fake first before we proceed on, and you know what I'm saying, and that's what I'm thinking when I'm reading the scriptures. Okay, when there are women cleaving on to men and they're saying, look, just call me, I'll take care of myself. Just let me. That's when the currency of what it is to be a man changes. Instead of it just being provided and making money, It's when you are a survivor. It's when you are a man that's like when you know what I'm saying, when instead of it just being money, it's the fact that you know how to hunt. It's the fact that you know how to fish. It's the fact that you know how to farm. It's other forms of currency. That's that in that moment, and only when that moment happens is when women and that when that hierarchy changes and when
How do
women
you know
are.
when that moment happened?
How will I know when that moment happens?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those signs. I mean, whenever when more and more of these plagues and whatever goes down and when prophecies are fulfilled and it becomes and it's right in front of your face, that's when I believe, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things where
Are you prepared for that moment right now?
yes, I am prepared for that moment.
So then how come it's not valid then if you're prepared for it?
Right.
Like I said in the beginning, I'm not saying that polygamy is wrong. I'm not saying that I don't deserve 2 or 3 or 4 women. I'm saying that it is only when the hierarchy, meaning that when she can't go to like it's almost like this, right? If I have you in subjugation, you know what I'm saying? If I'm subjugating you as a man, basically I'm ruling this and I'm running this and I'm in power. No matter what you say, no matter what you have, what you say your possessions are, guess what? Those are technically my possessions. And it is no secret to Eve. That is no secret to Eve. That doesn't excuse her the same way it doesn't excuse the men who will go around with their own little half of the you know what I'm saying, silent agreement. All I'm saying is that hey, when this will be the most beneficial, when this will be the best, is when women ain't got nowhere else to go, and
Let
because
me
they
ask
know.
you this. Let me ask you this. So we got I think 70, 75. It's between 70 and 75% of black homes headed by a single parent, a black woman. You don't think polygamy will help those children? Usually when a man's in the house, these children are not out gangbanging. They're structured.
I understand,
God,
but see, here's the thing, right? It just ain't bad enough yet. It ain't bad enough. It's when she got to go to the river instead of the water, instead of daddy, you know what I'm saying, government daddy making the water come out the faucet. It's when she got to go to come to you to get that water. That's when she gonna be calling you God. When there ain't no middleman between you and and our affairs out here. That's when it's gonna be like, okay, fall in line. That's when it's gonna be a train of them coming in and you making your choices.
Here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that. By that time, it's too late. By that time, it's too
Okay,
late because the reality is that we're already there right now. You're talking about when government daddy doesn't give you water, the water they're giving you is poison, right? The food they're giving you is poison. The system they're giving you is extortion. The reality is now. There is no other. Like the reason why I asked you that is because even for us, the ones who keep the laws, the statutes, and commands, we do this every year. And I'll be real. You want to see a woman get in line? Take them to Sukkot. Let's go out for a week in the wilderness, just a tent and a fire, and see how she feels to be out there. You just go to the bathroom, leave for an hour, see how she feels out there, because that's the reality. That's the reality of the situation. And if that's not what you are actually living in right now, by the time that reality comes crashing on you, it's too late. It's going to be too late.
I mean, there's already an influx. I don't know if you know it, good brother Vod. There's an influx of people in our community that's already turning towards polygamy.
I can't hear your mic.
I know this. I know this. I'm saying that
So it's already
just
happening,
I,
and it's increasing.
yeah, I understand this. I understand this and I know this, but I'm saying that this is all I'm saying. Back to the silent agreements. Back to is basically why reason why I brought that up was to highlight a lot of the mental illness. You know what I'm saying? Instead of it just being like because whether you want to believe it or not, we're not arm in arm with our sisters. They know and they understand that there is that they still have a place to go in their mind. They still have, in whether it's reality or not, whether they feel how they feel about it or not, they're still under this like they just not ready yet, and it's not bad enough yet. You know what I'm saying? Once it gets bad enough, then they'll, you know what I'm saying, then it'll then you know what I'm saying, then it'll work out. You know what I'm saying? Then it'll you know what I'm saying, then there'll be more, you know what I'm saying, your word is, you know what I'm saying.
That's not a situation you want, though. You don't want a situation where a woman is forced to be with you. You want the situation where a woman wants
That
to
goes
be
back to those 10 virgins, huh?
You want the situation where the woman wants to be with you, not where she's forced to be with you. And like I said, if you wait to that point, it's too late. It's
like
too
those
late.
10 virgins. The 5 that didn't come prepared. You know what I mean?
Because she's gonna use you just for your resources.
I mean, it's no secret though. It's no secret that whoever wins the war wins the women. Whoever is the one in power. That's no matter how you feel about it. That's the reason why we're. You know, I ain't gonna say that's the only reason why we believe in the Most High. Is just because we know that he possesses all power and that he has dominion over all things. But not saying that in a sense that hierarchy could change. But okay, you got the Most High, you got us. But somewhere in between the Most High and us, there's somebody who's been that's in the in between of that. And until the war between, and then not only that, we have scammers. That doesn't be like, imagine just 3 women behind a scammer and what issues can arrive with that. I.e., brother polite. You know what I'm saying? Like your polites out here.
You already have that. You already have that.
You already have that. We're already dealing with that.
Already is.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I'm coming from that standpoint because I'm looking at surveying. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to even just deal with one woman that you know what I'm saying, that you feel that you feeling her out and you feeling like you may or may not trust her. But when you get to 2 and 3 that could be plotting on you, that could, you know what I'm saying, that one could cripple you. You know what I'm saying? If you mess around and have a child by her. One can cripple you if you mess around and let her, you know what I'm saying? So
that's why
our women are just not hand in hand with us just yet.
That's why we have the law. So anytime is the right time. Anytime is the right time as long as you make that law the reality. It's really that simple. You know, it's really that simple. You don't want to wait until it's too late. You wait until then, you're gonna put something together. It's gonna be like a last minute team, and you guys are gonna try and show up and play the game, you know, with the last minute team. That's not gonna work out. You know, not when we're given ample opportunity every year to go through these cycles. I mean, come on, you're talking about when virgins trim their lamps. We know that those are the parables that go right in line with the feast days, right in line. So these are the lessons that would be integrated into the people, integrated into the whole populace. And now is the time that you need to be doing it, not when it's too late, not when, you know, shit hits the fan, so to speak. That's not
okay.
That's not
I hear you.
Can we
Kahan, I hear you.
Can we get to kill your Israel? Can we get some sisters in here to respond to this?
But I have one question for AVX. Just one question. Okay, so you said all this, right? So canvas, you know what I'm saying, paint hit canvas. How are you applying this in your life, and how are you navigating that? And how many wives are you leading right now? Because in the game, we're always looking for an OG to always show us the way and to lead us by example.
I mean, you got.
Tell me how you got this worked out. Like, and how many queens are you leading?
We got our examples in the scriptures. That's first and foremost. We don't go.
I'm not saying no. That's not what I'm talking about. I already know there's examples. I'm right in alignment with that. I'm with polygamy. I'm saying you are OG. You got it right. You leading. So tell me how you got this worked out.
No, all I was presenting to you was you don't want to wait until for a situation when your worst fear comes upon you. That's not what you want. You know, but I mean, in terms of implementation, me personally, I mean, this isn't a call about myself, but me personally, I have one wife. I have a wife. We've been married. She's not opposed to it, but I'm also not seeking a wife. We also talked yesterday about what is the criteria for a wife. When you really know what the scriptures is, you are telling me what's the criteria for a wife? What's the criteria for a wife? Anybody, tell me. What's the first criteria for a wife?
Basically, well,
help me.
She's supposed to bring a compliment to your life,
help me
to support you.
But what's the first one? What gave her value? And this is really what's been contorted.
I just told you.
Okay, go ahead.
I said whatever your purpose in life is, she's supposed to be a supporter.
Okay.
If she's not a supporter,
what?
If she's not a supporter, there will always be a conflict.
100%. Totally agree. Now, what has woman been given, or what can we look at biologically that would solidify that bond? A virginity, right? A virginity. That's why the virginity was so valued all throughout time. So, truthfully, if you want a wife, you should be looking for a virgin, right? Right?
I agree, but that's kind of
Right. No, I mean, no, that's the reality. That's the reality. That's the reality.
Yeah, I know, but
okay.
You know, like,
all right.
Come on, I'm not gonna look at a 15-year-old chick and be like, oh,
no, that's not.
What 15-year-old.
That's not what I'm saying. You know
what?
That's OD.
Yeah, so here's the thing, though, right? If I could just interject, I want to address something that Vard said before I forget. First, you know, I don't know about Abraham, but because I believe in this, don't mean I'm just gonna go out and try. These women, man, you got to be very, very selective. You don't just go because we're saying that because most of these women are off as hell, man. Most of these women are off as hell. And your woman, I don't know what's going on, Vaughn, but your woman might be against it. So that's probably why you're against it, right? Because
I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I'm saying
you're not for it. You're saying
I'm not saying I'm not for it either. I'm saying that there's a time for everything. And I'm saying that right now there's just too much wickedness that I personally see with it on both sides.
There's no gray area, right? There's no gray area. You can't justify what you're saying with scriptures that there's a time for polygamy. We can't find that in scripture, right? Throughout David, Jacob, or whoever you look at, they didn't say, well, I can't take this woman right now because it's not time. You see what I'm saying? They use that as a benefactor. It was always something that was productive, right? They use it to increase their nation in productivity. It was always, see, when you think of it in terms of sex, that's when it gets like distorted and everything. That the primary focus can't be sex, because that's where all the competition comes in. It has to be, it goes back to what we was talking about economically, because you can see much more benefits, right, than not when you look at it economically, right? Because if everyone is being a breadwinner for that family, now you might have been struggling living over here. If you save this, all of you might be able to get your own castle. You see what I'm saying? You might have stood it off on one car. You put all of this income in one spot. Oh, you're gonna have your own car eventually. You see what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be used. And so now the one sister that might not have had a babysitter, okay, well, you're working, I'm gonna watch the children. There's so much benefit in it if you take the sex out. See, the problem is a lot of these women has gotten involved with wicked Negroes, and the women are taking care of them. The men are saying, well, I'm a priest, I don't go out, you got to take care of me. So they got 4 wives, and the women are taking care of them. So everything is topsy-turvy. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about from a true biblical perspective, like Jacob. But why did he take more wives? Well, why was it the women themselves was a given their heart? Take this. The women, they was trying to build it, taking her. I can't have a baby. Take her as a wife. You see what I'm saying? Even Sarah did that to Abraham, but then she was like, hey, cast this woman out. You know why she did that? Because Hagar became proud. Once she had that baby by Abraham, she started sticking out her chest, and Sarah said to kick her out. And Abraham said, I'm not going to kick my wife and child out. Then the Lord said, hearken to the voice of your wife, Sarah. She spoke correctly. Because the spirit of envy jumped on Hagar. But the sisters was, hey, go into my handmaid. It happened again and again and again. You don't find that spirit in Israel today. Why? Because an enemy has came within our midst. And that's the real problem. You know, sisters keep trying to point it to the men pointed. The problem is you allow an enemy within our thinking. And so now we've been taught, because we could only associate with what we know, right? And if you've been raised in a Western civilization and you're told it's wrong, monogamy. But at the same time, right? At the same time, the people that saying it's wrong, they go and watch porn. They allow prostitution out of society. A lot of these women are prostitutes. They call them escorts. What do you call that? It's the same thing. A lot of these men that say they're against it, a lot of the politicians, they go and they watch strippers and sleep with some of the strippers, which is really polygamy, but they don't have any obligation to it. So they could do it and get away with it. This society allows it every day, but you're allowed to do it with no commitment. But in the laws of the Most High, if you sleep with that woman, you're committed to her. Now you have a responsibility. You can't just cast her away. And they don't like that. They don't like it. Most people, men or women, they don't like that. Because women, they're for it because they do it against men. They slept with more than one man. You understand? So they've done it. But now when you say, well, you know what? I want to take this. No, we don't do that. I don't care what you do. We're not doing. A lot of Eves are like that. Most women, I'll be honest with you, most women are not going to be in favor of it. Most women are not going to be in favor of it because they've been raised in Western civilization. They say they hate Esau, but they cling to his ways, and it's destroying us inside out.
Huh.
Hey, where's that sister at? Hey, clean like linen. Mela, what you got, brother? Hey, Frankie, you done speaking? He went blank. Frankie.
Look like his screen is a little frozen.
Yeah. Hey, Malak Ya Allah. You got anything else you wanted to say? Clean like linen, you could come in. Where's that sister? I know she know how to get in here. To kill your Israel. A lot of our women be going with these men of the other nations, but they're against polygamy. That kills me, man. It kills me, man. I don't get it. I don't get it, man.
Hello? Shalom.
Hey, shalom.
Hey, shalom, brothers. This is Malak.
Right.
Now, you know what's messed up? I noticed, and I've been in this for 25 years. I noticed that women were speaking against polygyny and so forth and so on. But then that same sister will be wicked to her husband and get put away. And she will move from camp to camp and deal with different brothers.
Correct.
This is what I've been seeing, brother. And let me tell you something. The sister call up and say she's been put away justly. Know that she's full of shit. Let me tell you what. She'll say, I didn't commit adultery. He put me away. But you know,
Blanking out, brother.
if a sister is wicked, you can put her away. Because being wicked, disobeying your husband is just like adultery. These sisters been put away by their husbands, not unjustly, but because they were wicked. And you know what they were going to do? Go have a sob story and go to another camp and deal with another brother.
Yep.
They'll bounce from camp to camp. They were different brothers, but we can't do polygamy, right? Especially for IUIC. IUIC is the biggest wars underneath them. The biggest one. They're known to jump from camp to camp. Leave a camp, go to another camp. Husband. They can have husband to husband, but a man can't have more than one wife, right?
Correct.
I don't even know what else to say about that, man. These sisters are whores. A lot of them, man. Not all of them, but.
And I just want to reemphasize.
We can't even use the New Testament in Yahweh child Christ, because even Christ said that's on law. Why are brothers marrying divorced women when the sister said not to do it? You can say, well, take divorce in the world or whatever. Okay, let's give her that first chance. Okay, in the world, she was not a virgin, she was divorced. What about when she do it in the truth? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We got to stop dealing with that, brother.
Right.
You know, hey, brother, let me say something. Look at the book of Tobit. Didn't the Most High preserve that woman?
Put that link.
Israel. Look. The Most High preserved who? Hannah, right? Remember Tobit, Tobias?
Con.
Remember that 7 men went to her and none of them penetrated because the angel of the demon killed them? The Most High preserved that woman to not be penetrated. Even though 7 men went to her. You think the Most High can't preserve a woman for you? You think the Most High is going to give you a woman that's been penetrated by a bunch of men when the Most High preserved that woman? 7 men was going to be her husband. She was a spouse to 7 different men. And none of them touched her, except Tobias. Remember that. The Most High preserved her for you. You don't have to be here with all used goods, brother.
Right.
And if you try to go to Hosea, let's go to Hosea. Hosea, you know what the reason Hosea was married? First of all, the reason why the Most High told Hosea to marry a whore is because Israel was a spiritual whore.
Right.
And the Most High knew that Israel would be doing that. But does that make it righteous? Look, the wicked Israelites are going to marry whores, brother. Not the righteous. Shalom.
Hallelujah.
Brother, we're not obligated to that, brother. You can find you a woman that's not like that, brother. It's an offset, brother. My father married my mother when she was a virgin, brother. You can say it's 100 years ago. It wasn't 100 years ago, brother. I'm 41, brother. That was not that long ago. All right, Shalom. Let me mute this.
Shalom, King.
Shalom. The Most High leaves a remnant for us, brother.
No, you're right, Hog. You hit it. You hit it. You know. I did just want to kind of reemphasize a point that was being brought out too. I've come across a lot of brothers, and these it's weak brothers who kind of pushes. They want their women to go get them wives. They want to sit down, do nothing, and then they want their women to go get them wives. So, I'm not one that agrees with that. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I don't really agree with that because I can't find any examples of where our forefathers.
Yeah, also, Slakia. Also, ain't no woman looking for me a wife. Ain't no woman telling me how many wives I can have. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. I determine that. If she don't like it, she can go her way, brother. And it'll be righteous for her to go her way. The scriptures say, if the unbelievers depart, let them depart. A brother or sister is not under bondage, but Yahweh has called to peace. If a woman leaves because I got another wife, brother, is she gonna be destroyed by Yahweh, brother? Brother, we got to be alpha males, brother. We cannot play with these women, brother. Ain't no woman telling you how many women you can have. Ain't no woman telling you that, brother. If you don't have total control, don't get me wrong. A woman can't suggest things or speak about certain things. And a woman cannot tell you how many women you can have. You got sisters that told me that if her husband get another wife, she'll leave. You know what that is? That's adultery. And I will put APB on that sister that nobody can marry her.
Right.
I will show her face. You cannot tell me how many wives I can marry. It's up to me. Simple as that. She can talk. She can make suggestions and have a little, but a woman cannot tell you that. It's not adultery if you get another wife. Don't get me wrong, brother. Let's get something straight. Do not just go out here sleeping with different whores and stuff like that.
Nope.
But a woman cannot tell you how many wives you can have. That's not up to you. That's not up to her. And if a woman leaves, brother, she's unmarriageable, brother. Take her face, plaster that all over the internet, brother, and say that she's a whore.
Yep.
She's unmarriageable, brother, because she left. You know what I'm saying? Women like to say about a man putting her away unjustly. Well, you know what she just did? She left you unjustly.
It's 10 o'clock.
9 out of 10 times, brother, when a woman gets put away so hard unjustly, even if it wasn't adultery, just because she was being wicked, brother. Let me tell you something, brother. Do not let no woman tell you you have the chance to commit physical adultery. She can do idolatry. If a woman comes against you and I keep the commandments, brother, she's committing adultery, brother. Fornication. Fornication against what? The Most High. When you go against the commandments, brother, what are you doing? Adultery, fornication. If a woman is not following her husband, she's committing adultery and fornication. Who's she serving? Is she serving the Most High? She's serving the devil. She's a witch. Put her away. Shalom.
You brought up a really good point too, because this is something that I've seen happen quite a bit with divorces. Is that men put their women away for no reason sometimes. When they're the true reason why you put a woman away now is a matter of uncleanliness or fornication. Those are really the only ways a divorce can happen, lawfully speaking. That's the only grounds that you can give a divorce, because outside of that, in the quote unquote Old Testament, right, that was death. So you get spared death, but now you get this bill of divorcement that you're bound to until the issuing party of that bill of divorcement has passed on. And what's crazy is, I know, sisters, just because they're pretty, but before this is even done, this sister's already running around saying, she's divorced, she's looking for another man. And before she even finishes that sentence, here comes a line of men to come in and rescue this woman, from her own fate. And that ends up being such a detriment to our community, and in these opportunities to learn from the behaviors and to put in place real consequence to prevent the continuation of sin. That's really what it comes down to. That's why these things are in place. So now we have of where sin gets you.
All right. Let me give you an example, brother. If you come home, now every scripture, every law is not written verbatim in black and white. Some laws you have to actually you have to look for laws similar. You have to sleep with another man, brother. If you come home and your wife is sleep with another woman, brother, that's fornication, brother. If you come home and your wife is looking at another woman, you understand? That's put away.
Absolutely.
Now I'm trying to show you an example. If you come home and your wife is doing that, brother, she just like she slept with another man. If you come home and your wife has got a Christmas tree up, brother, that's fornication, brother. She's following Nimrod, brother. And let me tell you something else. If you have a congregation and your wife decides to go to another congregation and listen to other brothers, that's fornication, brother. She's following another. It's like she's following another man. This happened to me, brother.
You're right. You're right. And all of that
when Christ or Yahweh Shai spoke about that, he was speaking of that. He was speaking of spiritual, physical fornication. And brother, if your woman does not obey you, but she obeys her boss at her job, obey you, brother.
right.
You know what I'm saying? These women really think that they can twist. Brother, I've had sisters call me up and tell me that their husband put them away and they didn't commit adultery. And when I did the investigation, brother, they were being wicked, brother. They was bad talking them. They was talking against them. They was belittling them. And I said, sis, it was wicked.
To kill your Israel, come on the line
making
to
an
produce
echo.
your court. She's saying that a woman that doesn't want to be a multiple wives, the Most High is not going to judge her if, you know what I mean, in the kingdom. So I guess in other words, she's saying a woman can be in court. You can't show me one scripture. See, that's see what she put in the room right there? Right there. The woman that does not want to be in a multiple wife situation is not going to be put to death by our king, Yahweh Shah. Okay. Prove that was scripture.
Okay. Let's get something straight. Let's get something straight. Brothers, do not be with a woman that does not believe in that. The whole truth, brother. Let's kill that right now. If you meet a sister, brother, you don't have to necessarily want to be with more than one wife. And if she asks about it, you better tell her the truth. And if a sister says, because the Most High can bless you with another wife, what's she gonna do? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
but
brother,
there's no judgment for that.
Yes, there is.
I mean, think about it. Does that not conflict what Abraham was just saying? Except for fornication and adultery, the man can't put her away. Does it not work the same way in reverse? Him taking a second wife, that is not adultery. It is not fornication. That woman is leaving simply because she was jealous. That's the only reason she's leaving.
Can I say something real quick, Tazadaq?
Right.
I just want to say this, man. You know, women know that having multiple men is a sin, because when you meet a woman and you one of the things that you never ask a woman when they want to date with them is that how many men you've been with. They never want to tell you how many men they've been with, because they know that is wrong, but they want to act like that. That's not the case of it. You know what I'm saying? So these women know what they be doing. They know that having multiple men is a sin, and the result is that is be put to death. That's why the Most High said to put the woman to death, because when a woman has sex with more than one man, that she puts shame on her husband, and that shame never leaves that husband until he's dead. That's why he said that the only way for a woman to have another husband is for that man to be dead, because you bring shame on your husband when you have sex with different men. So this is the reason why he's gonna put them to death, the man and the woman, because they no longer need to exist no more after they commit adultery. But see, we're not in them times no more. But I understand why the Most High did that, because first of all, when you commit adultery once, when a woman commits adultery once, it gets worse and worse. I know from experience, man, it gets worse and worse, and it never's going to stop. And that's why I feel like the Most High said that to put them to death, because he knows he created everything. He knows the woman's going to get worse and worse. Her sin is going to get even more wickeder and wickeder. So the result of that is her being put to death. So that's also what I want to say.
Yeah, Kahan.
And the problem is that they don't want to take accountability. Women don't want to take accountability
And
for
Frankie,
their
you was
errors and their
muted the
wrongdoing.
entire time, man. You was muted the entire time, Frankie.
Oh, my bad. No. I was saying I agree with the brother, because women, they never humble themselves. They only get better at what they do when it comes to wickedness. And on top of that, they don't want to take accountability for their errors. So now you two are going to, basically arguing. And it's pointless to argue with a woman because she's not using any logic. She's just being emotional, knowing that she's being wicked. So that's why the scriptures did say that a woman should remain silent when a man speaks, because everything that comes out of her mouth makes no sense. No logic, no rationality, nothing. And the funny thing with these women, even though the woman is wrong, other women will jump into the her. And that's what I'm starting to notice. And I'm like, you know what? They have that Jezebel spirit, feminism pretty much. See, but the funny thing, these women will jump in to help her, but yet they have husbands and they know damn well not to do that to their husbands, but yet they telling you to be a beta male and pretty much take her nonsense. That's one thing I don't get about women nowadays in this feminized society.
And that's why it becomes increasingly difficult to actually find a woman that could be wife caliber, one or any. In the time of the Essenes, I don't know if you guys read the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Essene Gospel of Peace, but in the time of the Essenes, they actually issued a decree where the Essenes didn't have any women because the woman had become so tainted. They had, in order for them to continue living their lives as priests, they couldn't take women because the women were so defiled. And so, that just goes to show you sometimes, and like Malak was saying, like, don't settle. You can find that woman. It's out there. But you have to just realize you'll get what you give. So if you've been given the Most High, half effort, expect a half effort.
Why do you think they won't come on the call? The sister said you can't get in the room. It's so complicated to click on the link.
Talk that talk, Tazadaq.
Oh no, Eleazar, man. The sisters
I just
won't get on the
make
call.
Shalom, man. What's up, man? We ain't really chopped it up in a minute. I've been a little busy trying to get, back in order with my life and stuff. But I heard what the brothers, one of the brothers said, like, try to avoid worldly women. And in a sense that what he was saying, you really can't do that because you don't know who the Most High wants you to say. You don't know what woman the Most High wants you to work on, because as you work on her, the Most High is working on your patience too. Because it takes patience to deal with a woman, especially a righteous woman. You just think because you in this truth and you following the Most High that you righteous and your woman should be the way you. Nah, it don't work that way, bro. It don't work that way. You gonna have to have patience working with any woman. I don't care how righteous you think she is. You gonna have to have patience dealing with her, especially if she's not in order and you trying to help her get right.
Right.
Because it's easy to get a woman in the truth. How hard is it to bring a woman from the world into the truth? See, Israelites want to take the easy way out. Oh, she a hoe, she this, she that, she this. All these women is hoes. If the woman you ain't with the same guy that if you ain't the first guy she had, then she a hoe. By scripture, she a hoe. If she not with the first guy she been with, if you're not the first guy she been with, she a hoe. Period. By scripture. So we can't say that about this woman a hoe, these sisters are righteous, and this and that. We can't do that. We can't separate them. They all in the same category like us. Judah was taken and buying pussy in the field. He was taking and buying it. So now, understand this. No, now take that back. Judah today does the same thing. His DNA is not going to change, bro.
No, you're
His
right.
DNA is not going to change. He's still doing the same thing. That's why he promote that John type of attitude. Oh, it ain't tricking if you got it and this and that. That's some simp shit. I know damn well, Tazadaq, you're not buying your woman everything she wants. That's some simp shit.
No, man.
100.
Some simp shit.
All we were saying is that we were given an example of a woman that was preserved for a man, and just to show like you don't have to settle, but you're right. You're gonna need patience with any woman you deal with. You're gonna need to build them. You're gonna need to work with them. This is not. It's not gonna be a walk in the park anyway. And that you just, hit the nail on the head because it exemplifies how much patience our forefathers had to deal with their houses and to build a nation from a house.
Kahan.
But the question was, Eleazar, is polygamy advantageous to our community? If so, why? And if not, why not? Would it help us?
I can answer that question if I don't mind.
Well, you know what I said yesterday. You just can't mention the word polygamy. You just can't tell them. You just have to do it. That's why I agree and I disagree.
Doing it already. We already know that, but they're doing it without a commitment.
Right, but if I'm married, now check my Tyler. If I'm married and I tell a chick I'm not married, or if I do tell her I'm married and she still deal with me, she's still my second wife. Technically, hold on, let me explain. Even though in such a way it's adultery in such a way, but let me explain my point of view. If I'm dealing with her and I tell her I got another wife, but I don't tell the other wife I'm working on another wife, that's adultery. You understand me? Now, if I tell this other wife that I have a wife, but I don't tell the other wife, but I'm still working on it with her, you feel what I'm saying? And you don't say, hey, I believe in polygamy. She gonna go along right along with whatever you do because you the man, you the head. You just don't have to say it. As soon as you say it, she gonna disagree because she gonna feel like you put her in the place of first, second, and third. You understand me? But she already there. And why isn't? I don't know why it's not good for us. It is good for us. We need to repopulate our people. We got so many people died in slavery, so many kids dying from drugs, so many kids being homosexual, just so much, man. We need to repopulate our nation. And
Eugenics.
Esau took that as a way to stop us. Because I know in my family, I got like 9 sisters. I heard y'all talking about sisters. Y'all was having women in your family. I got 9 sisters, and only 3 of them below me. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody out in my family, up until my generation, they wouldn't have them big families. Esau cut that out. They came up with the abortion and everything, or you can't be married to, you can't, this and that. So it kind of stops us from really multiplying and being a population that we really need to be. I really can't say, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. My standpoint is I stand with polygamy. Like I don't even care. Like, hey, it is what it is. If a man could be gay, he can have more than one wife. That's what I say. I don't give a damn. But
Check this out. Speaking of population, the so-called Hispanic community hasn't been in what they refer to America nowhere long as Judah has, and now their population is surpassing Judah
yeah.
right here in America. Something to
Well,
think
Tazadaq, I'm gonna tell you right here in LA, they kind of already surpassed us. Like I'll say like the 70s, 80s. You know, we was always referring to Los Angeles as little Tijuana. You feel what I'm saying? Even though it's Los Angeles, we still refer to it as little Tijuana. But you're right in every aspect, because all my Uber drivers and Lyft drivers the past couple of days, you know, I've been Mexican. Feel me? And if you really look at everything that's going on, and they still trying to put them in a 12 tribe chart. I still seeing people saying they part of the 12 tribe chart with no proof, and these people are steady killing us, steady locking us up. Because most of the police now in California is Hispanic. They'll lock your ass up quick.
Yeah.
They'll tell you to calm down. That's the number one thing. If you black, when you get to talking, they'll tell you to calm down.
And that makes a person
Can I say
angry
something? Hey,
more.
Right. That's
Can I say something on
an
that?
adjective word that gets you agitated. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you aggressive. You feel
They
what I'm
told me
saying?
that when I was in military
Well, you
police.
see, the Latinos, like there's different. You have indigenous, you have Afro descent, and you have Spaniard, you know, from Europe. You know,
Yeah, we don't mean no ones of Negro descent. We don't mean that.
We ain't talking about
We talking about Hernan Cortez people.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
there you
definitely.
go.
Yeah, because some of them are heathens, and most of these camps have these heathens in they camp.
Yeah.
And just because they like our hip hop culture doesn't mean that we are the same people. You know, I mean, if you go to Mexico, the state of Guerrero and Costa Chica, you got Mexicans that look just like me. You know, dreadlocks, dark skinned, my features. You know what I'm saying? And they will tell you that they being oppressed by the same people that you see in California, but yet it's there in Mexico. What they call them, Afro Mexicans, whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Costa
No,
Chica,
man.
something like that.
I kind of disagree
Nope.
with you. I think all these camps got like 95% of them is Spaniards. It's like only a couple of them is really true, like really of a tribe for real, and the rest of them is just Spaniards.
Yeah, of course.
It's
Yeah.
like, you know, because the Most High said He was going to leave us in a small number. Was He talking about as a tribe, or was He talking about as a whole? He said as a whole. He said the children of Israel, when Deuteronomy, He said y'all. He didn't say just the tribe of Israel. He said y'all will be left few in numbers. When you get down to Deuteronomy 28 and 60, He said y'all will be left few in numbers.
And 12
So
tribes
there's
of
no
Israel, 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Come on in the room. I'm not sure who's cutting you off. That sister never came in the room, man. She said she couldn't click on the link. Yeah.
She probably got Metro. So, you know, I don't know, man. You gotta look at our women today. Me, I agree with the brother. It's hard to find a choice nowadays. But because you gotta be a stern man. You can get a woman if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Like my
Can I ask
homegirl
y'all a
told me
question?
out here.
So, do y'all brothers believe in getting a passport and going overseas and finding better quality wives, even though she's not of the tribe of Israel? Is it fine if she submits to you and accept the Most High, although
Wait a
she's not
minute.
of Israel
Nah, I
descent?
don't believe in that.
No,
No.
bro. Check this out, Aki. You can go abroad anywhere to the Bahamas. You can go to Cuba. You can go to Haiti. You can go to them islands where it's all people of our skin color and find a woman like that if you go abroad. It don't matter if she submits to you. It don't matter if she submits.
But the thing is,
See,
but what's the difference?
wait, let me say this. She only submit to you, bro. The other nation women's, the white, the Asians, the Iranians, they only submit to you out of they feel sorry for you. That's the only reason why they submit to you. They feel sorry.
That's not true, because there's a lot of people I know in the military
Listen to me. Listen,
because
I'm out here in LA.
What's the difference between a black woman that's American stealing your resources and your assets, and and oppressing you to the system. What's the difference?
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I was
No,
gonna.
it's a bigger difference because when you look at the women's standpoint, why do a black woman get with a white boy? Because she want to be economically empowered. Why do a white woman who got good credit, who live in Beverly Hills, want to get with a nigga that just got out the penitentiary named Pookie? Why? He ain't going nowhere, brother. Why she getting with a nigga that's not going nowhere? Because she getting with a man. She know he a man. That's all she want is a man. So you gotta understand what a woman want. Women
Yeah,
going
but
after
what I'm saying,
a black woman ain't dating a white man to be safe and protected. She only dating them for money.
okay, so going back to what I was saying, what is the difference? Even if a black American woman steal your assets and take your
There
child away
is
and
no
use the child as
difference.
a tool against you, what
There
I'm
is no
saying though
difference.
is exactly.
There is no difference because they all the same. Listen, brother, you got good black men, bad black men. You got good white men, bad white men. Well, a lot of bad white men. You got some good Asians, some bad Asians.
And
You
so,
feel me?
what's your
It's all the
point that you
same.
were making, Frankie? Or are you saying to go out of our nation and take one of those women? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think
If she submits to you as a man, respect you
But,
as the head and
that's
steps
breaking
on the
the
top.
law, though. That's
Nah,
nah,
going
you
against the
breaking the
law
law.
to the Most High.
nah.
You breaking the law. I keep telling
I
you,
mean,
she feels sorry for you, bro. The only way these women dating you, bro, you gotta look at the whole aspect. They only
I
date you
mean,
because
but
they feel sorry
if
for
you're
you.
if you're an alpha male and you're on your purpose, why would any woman feel sorry for you?
then if you're
If you
alpha
Listen to
live
what
male
up,
I'm saying.
and you're in your
Listen to what
purpose,
if
I'm
you're
you're gonna
living
saying.
up
find
to
a
your true
woman.
Listen to what
potential,
I'm saying. You just cut yourself. If you were alpha male, you're not worried about getting no other nation woman because if you were alpha male, all
oh
women
no,
of all
they come
nations
to
gonna
me.
submit to you.
They come to me.
Listen, I didn't see it. It don't matter how good or how ugly you look. Women don't work like that. I got 9 sisters. Women don't work like that. It don't matter if you think they come to you or you on some player level. It don't work like that. You can say whatever. It doesn't work like that in reality. You feel me? Because the
Actually, it
women that's
does
coming to you,
because if you have charisma, right, your finance, your physical and social status, and your
see, there
personality,
you
then
go.
you
See, there
good.
you go. See exactly what you just said. You talking about status symbol. I'm not wanting no women to be
No, that's
attracted
not what I
towards
said.
me for no
I
status
said
symbol.
social status. I said social
You said
status.
financial too. You said financial.
Yeah, well, yeah, because like as a man, you're
Thank
the
you.
provider,
Exactly
right?
like I said. Then we
A
going
man's
back.
supposed to provide for a woman,
Then we going back to
right?
the status symbol. I don't want no woman to be with me with no status symbol because
No,
she
are
can
you
get
listening to what I'm
credit.
saying?
So we going off
I said
topic.
as a man, you're supposed to be the provider.
And
If you're not with
Yeah, yeah.
So we going off topic here, man. We want to keep it on the polygyny, man. We don't want to
Right,
go off
but
topic.
to answer his question, nah, we can't go to other nations.
Yeah, we can't go to other nations. That's
You may be able to find a woman of our nation in another location, and your chances might be better that she's of a higher quality, but not a woman from not someone who's not our nation.
that's going against the law. Can we get some sisters up in here? Monica Williams. Can we get some sisters up in here? So the discussion is. Let me reiterate. The discussion is polygamy beneficial to our community? If so, why? If not, why not? Please come in, click on the link below the name True Disciples of Christ, and let's discuss it. We would like some sisters up in here. Let's try to stay in the spirit, Akim. Let's stay in the spirit.
No, you can't stay with it. I don't think nobody was tripping. I wasn't tripping. I was just trying to
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
them.
I mean, you guys are going off topic. You talking about getting women of other nations. We trying to deal with something from our nation. Frankie talking about going outside of the nation. Now we breaking the law. We trying to stay
Right.
within the law, man. We trying to stay within the law.
Gotta
No,
correct these
no
niggas
women on
talking
earth
about
better than our women. That's my opinion, man. No women on earth is better than our women. Any
Yeah, I was.
man on this earth is after our damn women. If you can't see that, you're blind. And
Right.
when you get one of those women in the other nation, after you with her for a while, you're gonna see how her ass age compared to the so-called black woman. This skin is not as strong as nothing, man. The black
But you
woman is the
see,
most beautiful woman
okay,
on this
so
planet.
if that's the case, why are many black women getting silicone injections, liposuction, Botox, and bleaching their
Because
skin?
they're brainwashed. But you look at them, you look at a so-called older black woman, and you look at some of these Edomites. These Edomites in their 30s, man, they look 50. They look 50. You can't even call me a liar. They don't have that melanin in their skin to protect them from the sun.
I'm not attracted to white women. Just by the way,
But
just so,
say,
just so you know.
if you're talking about a so-called Asian, same thing. The Eurasian nations are the same thing, man. Some Chinese skin or is less melanated at Edomites. A lot of them Moabites, unless they got Jake in there somewhere. So
The Philippines, they got melanin.
Who's that?
The Philippines, they got Filipinos, they got melanin.
No.
Because the original Philippines were black, you know.
So I mean, some of the you can find people of Negro descent in the Philippines, but
Right.
what you're colloquially speaking as the Filipinos, no, because they're Asians, they're Moabites,
right?
So
No, but that was before the colonization, before they were black people. A lot of them have features because you know,
but
I've been there. I've seen
so-called the ones that you're referring to as blacks. What I'm saying to you are these are not the same people that you see when you look at antiquity. The original people that you call Chinese were of a Dorcan nation, but then you have what is known as the Euro-Asian nations. They call those people Chinese, but they look just like Esau. They look just like Esau. Now, the original Moabite, we know they were a Dorcan nation, but when you talk Moab today, you talking about people that almost look like Esau, that hate your guts. Those are the same people over there attacking Hamites right now. Those are the same people. Those are the same people that's telling you that if you come to that country, we don't want you here because you Hamites and you Black Americans are responsible for this so-called virus going around. Those are the same people. And so the Filipinos,
but what about Southeast Asia?
They came out of them. Oh, all of these, essentially, brother, there's only 18 original nations. All of these other hybrid nations, they came out of other nations. They're not originals. They're not originals. People have really been misconstrued. Like the people that they say,
Asian.
Yeah, right.
He was coronavirus.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Brother, understand this, man. If you're not trying to wake up to smell the cocoa butter or shea butter in the morning, man, there's something that's obviously wrong with you. Self-hatred is in your eye. You need to look in the mirror.
Actually, when you look at the black woman, there's a lot of self-hatred because she do a lot of surgeries more than anyone.
No. She's confused because he's going to program her brain. We understand that, but here's the aspect.
You want to date louder than words.
Okay, but then if you say that, you got another nation that want to be a black woman. So you going after a woman that wants to be a black woman. So at the end of the day, it's the same thing. So
how about if I show you the statistics? If I can show you the statistics,
I live in Florida. Listen, understand this, brother. Before I came
so
if I can show it to you, brother. Listen, I agree with you. No, listen. Let me tell you. I live in Los Angeles.
All right, go ahead.
Listen,
go ahead.
I live in Los Angeles. There are some beautiful Asian women out here. Before I came in the truth, when I got out of prison in 1997, I used to date a Korean girl. She was bad. I understand what you're talking about. I do. But once you come back to the understanding of this and you really figure out that all that other shit don't work, it don't work. You gotta come home.
Okay, well, until the black woman get an act right, until she get an act right, I'm gonna be elsewhere.
So you think
Brazil, anywhere?
You're gonna be sitting too, You're gonna be sitting too,
man, what he smoke? Get him some weed.
So am I supposed to be with a rebellious woman that's not following the law? Am I supposed to be with a rebellious woman that won't submit?
You think they're gonna turn you into a Buddhist?
You know, can I tell you, I know a lot of
Buddhist. Right. Maybe turn you into a Buddhist.
I know a lot of brothers.
You cut it too hard right there, man. Somebody,
right quick.
The Sasha Bean. Call the paramedics, man. Bring the blue ambulance, not the red one. Bring the blue ambulance.
Can I say we're gonna have to get a show dealing with this.
Can I say one thing?
The topic is about polygamy.
Yo,
we really trying
to say one thing
on here.
Let's say one more thing, man. We want some women on here to talk about polygamy, man.
Let me say one
I
thing.
got some script. I got some.
Let me say one thing, because I know a lot of brothers, and I travel to many places, and I know a lot of military cats, a lot of brothers, entrepreneur brothers, and they happy. These are prime
Yeah,
examples.
they happy, but they're not
They don't
calling
got the
themselves
law.
Israelites. You
They don't
understand?
got the law.
We're supposed to be men of the Lord, man. You can't be worldly. See, you want to have 1 foot in and 1 foot out, man. You know what Hamashiach said about them? You're gonna be spirit out of the mouth, man. Because right now, what you're confessing is that you're lukewarm. You want to do some of the law and not all of it. Either you're all right or you're not right at all. We can't pick and choose. Well, I'm gonna get this woman because our women are rebellious.
Yeah, I think we need to get some women in the chat.
Too.
I think we need to get some women in the chat.
I was just gonna. I got some precepts right here. I'm gonna bring out. This is Genesis chapter 26. This is verse 34 to 35. Right. It says, when Esau was 40 years old. This is before the law was given. Okay. When Esau was 40 years old, he took as wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Besmith, the daughter of Elion the Hittite. And they were the bitterness of spirit to Yitzhak and Rivka. Okay, so it's for these reasons right here that we do not take women of other nations. Hittite, they were dark skinned, they were melanated. So what? So what?
So what was Moses' excuse for taking his wife?
Time out. The truth is, your mother's a black woman. Your mother's mother is a black woman. You came from the womb of a black woman, and it's the black woman that needs that reconciliation. "Quote unquote" black woman, colloquially speaking. Your woman.
So what was Moses' excuse for his
This
wife?
is our nation. You expect the Most High
Okay,
to come back
so again,
come and do.
what was Moses' excuse when he had his wife?
Do you really want to answer, brother? Or are you just trying to make one of them silly points like most people?
No, he didn't ask me any question. He didn't ask
but you asked the question. Do you really want to answer?
Yes, I do.
Okay, do you realize that Moses repented when he was 80 years old? So
what did he repent for?
You want to answer? Let me stop you right there. See, I hate people that do that, right? You look at Moses was not without sin, right? You look at what someone did that was against the law, right? Just because Moses did it, just because David did it, just because Solomon did it, doesn't make it right. All of those men had to pay for their sin for going outside of their nations. Every single one of them paid for doing that, for going against the Most High's laws. When you read the history on them, all of them end up paying for that. All of them end up paying for going out. The law is the law, brother. It's not what Moses did. It's not what David did. The book of Deuteronomy 7, verse 1 through 7 warns us about that. Again, we're warned in the book of Joshua. We're warned in the book of Nehemiah. We're warned in the book of Ezra. Again and again throughout scriptures, we were punished for doing that. And it came to a point when Ezra came, he made us not only put away the wives, but the children that was born of them. And that
why
was
couldn't Moses find a Hebrew woman?
That was towards the end of
what happened to Tazadaq? What'd you say? I couldn't hear, somebody walked over you.
Yeah, I was saying, and that happened towards the end of the Old Testament, good brother, because the Bible's not in a chronological order. When you read the book of the Ezra, that's what happened towards the Old Testaments. That's one of the last books in the Old Testament. When you look at it chronologically, the Bible's not written in the order that it should be in. When Ezra done that, that pretty much seals up what they refer to as the Old Testaments. Then Hamashiach came. So when we ended, when the Old Testament was actually being closed up, we was made to kick all of those women and men of the other nations out of our nation. And when we started in the New Testaments, we started off with just our own people, because that's how the Lord wants it, man. That's how the Lord wants it. And so when we go and we start taking these people of the other nations, our women are off, but our men are off too. Truth be told, a lot of these men are off.
We're not off. Therefore, we can't put us in the same category as those men. Because, like I said, why should
you're off right now, King? You're off right now because you're saying they're going to get a woman of the nation. That's breaking the law. That's breaking the law right there. I can show you precept after precept that say that.
So I guess I should get one of these Jezebels if that's what you're saying.
No, My wife's not a Jezebel.
I didn't say your wife is a Jezebel.
Okay, but I'm making a point.
She
I'm
doesn't
making a
count
point.
because
You
she's
said I
married.
should
She's
go and
already
get one of
submitted.
these Jezebels, right? I'm making a point. My wife's not a Jezebel. Abraham's wife not a Jezebel. Yashabun's wife not a Jezebel. Well, we just got lucky. You understand what I'm saying? So our sisters are out there. You just got to be like selective and try that spirit and get the right one. Remember what the Lord says. A wicked woman is given to a wicked man as an inheritance. So you got to try that spirit. The scriptures are very clear. So if you got to, you be getting this wicked women, you might want to examine.
It is about the spirit, though. It is.
You got to try that spirit. Just because some woman comes smiling in your face and all of that, and she doing all these things in the beginning, she trying to win you over until you say I do. And then when you want to say I don't, she say, nigga, you better, or you're gonna wish that you had.
That's true though.
Nah, for real.
Hey, that's true though. That's true. That's true though. That's true. That's true. That's true though. That's true.
Hey Frankie, man, you stayed. It seemed like you had a little bit of selective listening in the beginning. I'm glad you came too, but definitely continue to listen to these messages and go back and get up on them old messages, man, so you can stay strong. Because you got a mind about yourself, and and you be a great asset. But we gotta take the whole law, not just a little bit part of it. You see what I'm saying? So they out there. We just gotta be diligent. We just gotta be diligent about it.
Right.
Yeah, I hear what he's saying, man. You could think, because when you look at it on the real, statistically, it shows that Eve commits more adultery than the man does. But what they paint in society is more men are doing it. But it's not true. She's just more crafty when she does it. Well, we got 12 tribes to choose from, man. And they outnumber us 2-1. You got to be able to get one. Just don't roll dice, man. Try the spirit.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
looking into Brazil. I'm looking at Brazil, definitely.
Yeah, I hear you.
You got to be careful out there, though.
You got to be careful everywhere you go. You can go to Chicago. You can go to Compton. You can go to Harlem, and everywhere is dangerous.
You got to be diligent wherever you are. But out there, I'm just gonna say be careful.
Yeah, they like the rob us over there. Like a lot of these.
I already know. Hey, I be in the favelas all the time. I already know.
All right. A lot of these foreign places, man, they see us as as targets and tourists. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I was over there. You know what I mean? In a lot of Central and South America, and I see how they get down. Trust me, they be wanting to push up on you. They want to get back to that big PX in the sky. What we used to call it in the military, that big PX in the sky, that big commentary. To get back to America, her whole demeanor changed. Man, when I was in the military, that people had to get briefed by the company commander to get married, because so many of those women in Central and South America was marrying the American soldiers. Then a few months after she got here, she was divorcing and get support and all of that. So you would actually have to be evaluated and by your company commander to make sure that you make the right decision. That's how bad it was. And it was happening most to Esau. Esau was going over there and getting married, man. I mean, just coming back, married, a few months later, he's divorced. Then she's gone with someone else. She just wanted to get over it. And so then when you marry an American citizen, guess what? You're legal to be here now. You're legal to be here.
Yep.
That's why you have a lot of Africans that do that in New York. There was a lot of them that came up to me. Well, I'll give you $5,000 if you marry me. I said, no, I can't do.
They do that though, especially in Europe. They do that. Yeah. They do that though.
Yeah, they really try to do that, man. They try to pay you 5 G's to get married, and then the immigration was cracking down on it.
A lot of Dominican women, they do that to brothers in New York too, though. Dominican women, they trust me.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know Staten Island, right? So yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, they're beautiful. They real beautiful, but they money hungry. They desperate. I mean, the whole world's desperate, but
But I do love Brazil though. Brazil, you know, most of our people over there in Brazil.
Yeah, well, get yourself yeah, get yourself a so-called Brazilian man of Negroid descent. Yeah,
Oh, you already know. You already know.
speaking Portuguese. She probably teach you some jujitsu. She might choke you out.
Capoeira, yeah, capoeira.
She might be like, you know, what's her name? The female that be knocking them all out, man.
Yeah.
Man, what's her name, man?
I forgot her name.
Monica. I can't remember right now, man.
Talk about the UFC.
All of. What was that?
The fighter, the female fighter.
Yeah.
Nunez.
Yeah, Amanda Nunes.
Oh man, Lord have mercy.
And she got an Edomite for a so-called girlfriend. An Edomite girlfriend.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Nah.
Yeah, most of the women at UFC are about that you know, alternative lifestyle. Most of them.
WNBA.
What woman, you know, what feminine woman when they just keep getting punched in the face and all that? Come on, man. That's a turn off to me, man. You get hit in the. You think how her body's gonna be when she age? When she decides she want to have children, she haven't had them already. You done been punched in the face, knee in your stomach. You have all kind of problems, man. They don't show people the back stage things that be going on, how badly these fighters be getting injured, man. Those fighters, they undergo some severe injuries, and many of them, when they fight, they're fighting injured. It's just not revealed to the public.
It's true. That's why Brock.
You're right. You're right.
So we got any sisters that want to come in the room? Click on the link. We'll love to hear some of the sisters.
I was gonna bring some more precepts.
All right, go ahead, King.
Okay. So I was gonna hit Deuteronomy. This is chapter 21 and verse 10. It says, "When you go out to fight against your enemies, and Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, your power, shall give them into your hand, you shall take them captive, and you shall see among them the captives a woman lovely of form, and shall delight in her, and take her for a wife. Then you shall bring her into your home, into your house. You shall shave her head, trim her nails, put aside the mantle of her captivity, and shall dwell in your house and mourn her parents for a month of days. After that, you shall go into her, and you shall be her husband, and she shall be your wife." So there were even instances only when the Most High, permitted it.
Right.
When we went to battle and we could take some of their women. Only when he permitted it, because more times than not, it was off with everybody. So, even for that, contingency, people like to throw these what ifs out there. There's a protocol. There's a law by which you would uphold a standard to ensure that sin does not cross your gate.
Kahan. And she had to be willing to worship the God of Israel.
Right.
Or under our laws.
Right. That's why she had to shave her head.
Right.
That's why she had to cut her nails, because all of those could have been dedicated to another god, another idol, another mighty one. Especially whatever culture she was coming from. So you you shave them down, you put them aside, you cut their fingernails, everything. You humble them. Essentially, you put them aside to the point where they're clean, and then you would, solidify it. And then she becomes a wife, one who's now a part of the house.
Her parents there also?
What was that?
Does it say to kill her parents there also?
Yeah, actually, she's mourning her parents, so her parents would have died in the battle.
Yes.
Chris Rock did a documentary about that too, saying that they sacrifice deities for their hair, and black women turn around with the weaves that they get from the Indian people. So I see what you're saying when they have to cut the hair off.
I feel you on that. I can't rock with that. I can't rock with no woman that got weave and none. Nah, man. I feel you.
Resource here.
I was just posting something to her sister. She talking about why she can't find a good man, and every man talking about they want a good woman, but it be some bullshit. But then I tell her like, yo, hair. Oh, thank you. I tell her like, yo, I posted and I showed her the symbolism of hair color. When you rocking red hair, that's your personality. It tells you. And then with her having red hair, it tells her that she's tempered, she's opinionated. You feel what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So you got to know. And she was like, no, that's not true. I said, okay. In Roman times, when you look it up, when they had the wash house, the women that was harlots, they wore blonde wigs. And that's how you knew it was a whorehouse. So why you think they call blonde women bimbos? So why would you date a woman that put blonde hair in her hair? Do you want to be called a bimbo? Like, I don't understand that. And see, this is the understanding.
And
see,
what
they don't
precept
understand.
was that, Salakia, what precept was that, Abraham? Go ahead, Eliezer.
That was Deuteronomy 21.
Can you post it in the room?
So
Okay.
it's like when you change your color of your hair, it brings off different vibrations. You feel me? It personifies certain stuff about you. Even when you put on fresh clothes, it makes you feel a certain way. You hop out of a BMW or something, it make you feel a certain way. If you got 100,000 in your pocket, it's gonna make you feel a certain way because all this stuff is made of this world. You feel me? It's gonna make you feel and bring about spirits on you. And so
don't forget about piercings and tattoos.
Yeah. I don't know about that, man, because when you look at Yasha Allah, when the Most High asked him to make a covenant at the Mount, he asked him to take the piercing, he asked him to take the gold from their nose and their ears and everything. So they been rocking nose earrings and ear piercings because it says they took nose rings and ear piercings that was gold to make a golden cap. They had took all this stuff that they had gold. So we know they been rocking gold. You feel what I'm saying? They been had gold earrings, but yeah.
I mean, like the modern day piercings, like how these women be having these nose rings, tongue rings, all of that. Like not just the blonde hair, but all the piercings.
Now that's something. Tongue
belly
ring
button
is something
piercing.
different.
Yeah.
Tongue ring and in the belly is something different. But when you look in the scripture, it tells you that Israel had nose rings and earrings.
Nose rings are lawful. Yeah, nose rings.
Yeah.
And that would actually be a sign of a covenant too. Also, ear piercing. You would pierce the ear of your.
So it depends on where it's at, and you know, it's just the vibration. But it's so.
But you don't pierce yourself or cut yourself to another mighty one, you know, or like these tattoos of other mighty ones or images of something else in your skin. That would be negative.
Because me, I got a lot of tattoos. I got like over 10 tattoos on my whole body. Like, you feel me? Up from my leg up to my neck. You feel what I'm saying?
I know a lot of people. I mean, you probably didn't know at the time, you know.
But even, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the scripture says, "Don't make cuttings in your flesh for the dead." You feel me? And I mean, what is, you know, that's a distinct. It's a distinct. It says, "Don't make cutting in the flesh." It's like it says, "Don't make cuttings in the flesh for the dead."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, primarily that's why it was initially done, and remember, it's someone that actually died.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I agree with some stuff y'all say, and I disagree with some of it because you have to, and like I rock with you, Tazadaq, especially with them videos, because you got to put it out there for them, because a lot of these brothers don't. You got to be able to say no to your woman. Tell her no, and if she say she gonna go, let her go. If she say she gonna go, let her go. If she want to get mad, let her be mad. Ain't nothing you can do about it. But you gonna be a pleaser because she mad? Like, come on. Like Judah, like especially for the brothers in the truth, you can't be like no soft ass man to these women. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta be stern with them too, but you gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta know how to pick them too. And see, that's another thing. A lot of these Israelites that's not of the world, that didn't come from the world where I came from. When they meet a sister where I come from, she gonna run game on them if he don't really know. That's why them brothers make them statements like that. Like Eve is like this, Eve is like that. Like the brother talking about, oh, she don't submit, she did this and that. That's because, for one, when you get her, like you said, she give him a shit test and he failed every time. And he don't know why he get treated like that. So he got to go to another nation because her shit test ain't nothing. You feel me? That's why he don't be passing those tests like that.
Yeah, she gonna say, "Me love you long time."
Straight up,
or sound like mama's son.
And she gonna be telling you that, Frankie over there, man. "Me love you long time, Frankie."
That's what he wants. That's what he wants. He wants some fried noodles. He wants some monkey brains. He wants some kind of food. But see, it's a difference though in that in women, like, You like I done been with different type of women. I'm from LA, so I know like it's nothing like no black women. For one, like the mother nations of women, when it comes to you being pro-black, they're not gonna be like you. They ain't gonna be able to fight like you. They're gonna get scared.
Right.
They're gonna be scared. They ain't got that fight in them. You feel me? When the Pharaoh told the little I forget how you say their names, the chick that was all the midwives, he told all the midwives to kill all the Hebrew babies. They said no, because them Hebrew women is lively.
Right.
He said they lively. He said, yeah, they gonna get up and whoop something. See,
They jump
the
up,
other nations
and
ain't gonna
have the
do that.
babies on the stool before we get there.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other nations ain't gonna do that. Come on, bro. What you doing? You see, you can't see, brother. The brother said that he can't handle no black woman. That's what it is. He probably afraid to step to him. That's another thing. They probably be that's what it be. Yeah. Yeah,
Why would me as a man be
afraid to
afraid of a
step with
woman?
him. That's why. But why would you say that though? Because if it should be nothing. You feel me?
But why would me as a man be afraid of a woman? Period.
Because if you go into another nation, then you obviously afraid of your own women.
Oh no! Again, they come to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I'm pretty sure they do. I got white women at my job coming to me. That don't mean I deal with them because they come to me.
No, I'm talking about Latinos. I'm talking about Middle Eastern.
Me too. Listen, check this out. You gotta understand the. See, now watch this. Now understand the concept. Now, if you was in the world, and you was doing worldly stuff on a high level, and a woman come to you, see, you would take her. But see, you don't understand. If a woman come to you, she wants something.
Nah, I have standards.
See, you don't get it. Tazadaq, will you explain to him? What is she coming to you for? What she want? I thought the man supposed to hunt the woman.
All right.
So brother, I'm gonna explain it to you. I'm gonna tell you it again. If a woman come to you, you don't get it. You don't get it.
See, the thing is, I don't even try. They just come to me.
That's why you've been empowered with a word called no.
Yeah. Yeah, she wants something like Eliezer Sam, man.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, most women have been actually trained, man, over generations to allow men to push them.
Like I don't even know. Like I don't even know why would I even have to explain that to a grown man. That's just how I look at it. Like why do I have to explain that to you? If you was like my nephew, like 14, 15, that's like me dropping game to you. But you grown, you should be able to see that. That's just obvious. When if you said you've been around and you've been around a lot of different women, you would know that. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, I want my babies now. Here's what it is. You lusting for them women. You don't want to actually be with them. Because here's the difference. Lusting and love. See, you lusting because you trying to find you an Asian with a body like a black girl. That's what you do.
Hey, can we get a sister on the call, man? Can we get some sisters up there, man? We get back on the topic of polygamy.
Yeah.
Ryan, come in the room, man. Monica Williams, 12 tribes, children of Israel. You're a female, come in the room. Come in here, man. Talk.
They're scared to talk that shit, man.
Yeah,
I like to hear it raw. And see, this is the thing too, Tazadaq. The sisters that you invite in the room, are they going to give it to you from a real aspect, or they can give it to you from a scriptural aspect? You feel me? Because you want somebody to tell you straight up,
Block y'all.
Yeah, that's
Abraham, we get feedback from you.
It's from someone.
Yeah, AVX.
Oh. All right, go ahead, Eliezer. It's coming from AVX. I couldn't figure it out.
So,
shalom, everybody. Shalom, everybody.
Slow.
So, I was just saying, like, if you get some sisters in here, get some real ones up in here that's going to tell the truth, like, exactly how it is. And, we should follow you, because all that's good and said, you saying you want a Hebrew man, but when you get one, is the sister that's really gonna follow be really trying to follow? I'm like you, Tazadaq. I just keep it thorough. Well, what you trying to do with me? I just ask them straight up, what you trying to do with me? Because here's the thing, brother.
But the thing is,
hold on. I just want to say this real quick, and I'm gonna mute my mic. When you look at the Asian women, you just lusting for her. You just lusting because you lusting for that body. You probably lusting, but you don't want to be with her forever.
See, that's not true. You see what I'm saying? See, now you're putting words in my mouth. That's your own interpolation. That's how you interpret it. See, women are not my focus. I'm focused on my purpose. Like I said, when you're on your purpose, women see that and that turns them on because pretty much rather than chasing that like a simp, you're just on your purpose. You're determined. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like I said,
true.
I'm a busy man.
I disagree. bro.
I'm a busy
I'm
man.
gonna tell you why.
Like I said,
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why, bro. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why, Mr. Busy Man.
Can I
I just want to say this. I just want to say this.
Can I
Let me
finish?
tell you why
No, but can I finish?
Go ahead.
What I'm saying, women are not my main purpose. They're not my main focus. Like I said, women come along because when you stay on your purpose.
So we're all of you.
What's that? What happened?
Come in the room. The one that says Solomon fell, so we're all of you. Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying though, see, y'all talking about women, but really, y'all saying it as if I focus on women. Women are not my focus.
Nah,
like I said, when you become successful, right? When you become successful, you then get the luxury of having many choices of women. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's very important for men to be on their purpose. If y'all not on your purpose, then y'all can't complain about women not wanting to talk to you.
That's where I disagree,
Hey,
bro.
Solomon
Because here's where I
you.
disagree.
Solomon
I just want to say this.
So we're all of you.
I just want to say this. You think because you busy and women chase you, homie, it's homeless men out here that get women every day. Do you know?
I get women too.
Now listen, check it out. But see,
I get women without even trying.
Listen, bro.
We gotta get back on
Come on, Rico. Come on, Rico Suave.
Hey man, let's get back on topic. Let's get back on topic.
Come on, Rico Suave. Listen to what I'm saying.
Listen to what I'm saying. Let's get back on topic.
I am on topic.
Let's get back on topic.
No, you get back on topic. You the one over here boasting about yourself. You boasting about yourself. Oh, they come to me. They come. I didn't say nothing.
Guess what?
But check it out, though. Here's my point, though, Tazadaq. Here's my point. Tazadaq, here's my point.
It's not bragging.
I'll let you speak. It's my turn. It's my turn to see, Tazadaq. This is how you know when you really dealing with somebody that got some game. He talking about they come to him. Check this out, Tazadaq. In today's day and age, you don't even have to be no man to get a woman. You can be a woman. You can be a stud. You could be a little. You could be a dog. And you can get you a woman.
You getting women? Are you getting women?
So what are you talking about that women walk up to you? So understand this. Understand this. Listen to me. Listen, you see this right here? I don't listen. Do you need my Instagram? Do you need my Instagram? You see my face? Do you need my Instagram?
No. But I'm direct asking you.
That's a
direct question.
I'm not here to toot my own horn. I'm not here to toot my own horn. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not here.
It's a simple answer.
You put your face on here. Put your face. Show your face. Show your face. Put your face on here. Now,
women, yes or no?
Listen. Now look at me. Does it look like I look like these nuts? Does it look like that? Do you need my Instagram? Do you need my Instagram? Because here's the simplicity you're dealing with. Here's the simplicity that you're dealing with. See, you on here trying to brag, oh, I get women and they walk up to me, man. Come on, please, bro.
I don't even try because I'm on my purpose. Like I said,
you was not on your purpose. Listen, bro, bums get bitches. Check Salakia Tazadaq. Now check this out. And if you read statistics, it says 97% of women pick up homeless men off the street than rather date a man with money. Now look that up. Look it up right now. Shasha Beam, look it up while he talking. Look it up so we can get the facts to shut him up. Because he don't know what he's talking about. But you don't know. It don't matter. It don't see.
Yes, it does.
You can tell he's simple. You can tell how simple he is.
If you don't got no bitches, you can't. You don't even have to say.
Listen, Tazadaq, you can tell he's simple because he going based on his looks. He think he look like a. See, women don't care nothing about that, bro. They don't care
It's
nothing
your
about that.
charisma. It's how you
No, they
carry
don't.
yourself.
Women,
It's your
listen. Women don't
mentality.
listen, brother. Women don't care how
It's
big your
your
slong is. They will
mentality.
cheat
See,
on you, bro.
you're
Women
talking
don't
about
care
the
how big
physical
your slong
form.
is. They
It's
will
more
cheat
than
on you,
just
bro.
physical.
You simple.
It's more than
You ain't
just
got. You talking
physical.
about you had
Your
women? You
assets,
ain't had no
your
women.
charisma,
You
your
ain't had no
mentality, how you
women, bro.
carry yourself.
Come on, bro. Please, bro. Go to my Instagram. Just go to my gram. Just go to my gram. I'll give you my gram. It's watch
Why
the
can't you
deal.
just answer the simple
It's watch
question?
the
If
deal
that's the
because
case,
see, I'm
if
not
that's the
on
case,
here. I'm not on Tazadaq forum to
if
be
that's the
talking about
case,
my
you can answer
personal
a
life
simple
and my
question.
fornication with
You
other
can
women.
answer a
I'm not
simple
on
question
here
if
to
that's the
talk about
case.
that.
See, because
I'm
you
not
don't,
on here to talk about
because you
that.
don't want to
You know,
answer. That's fine.
where you live?
So okay, so
Where you
man to
live?
man, man
Where
to
you live?
man, do you get
You ain't no
female?
man. I don't see you as no man. I don't see
Man,
you as no man. So don't say man to me because I don't see you as no man.
man to man.
Because
Oh, but you,
what no
but
real
at the
man
same
do that
time,
to no real
but
nigga.
at the same
Cause
time,
see,
you
cause
deep
see,
policing.
cause see,
You
you could tell.
you
You could
telling
tell.
another man where he can't
You
put
could
a
tell.
thing. See,
You could
because you
tell.
being
You
emotional.
could tell.
You
Yeah, hell
emotional.
yeah. I tell a lot of men a
See,
lot
but
of ways to think. I
men
tell
don't
my
act
son,
emotional.
you see, here you go again, Colin. You said I'm telling another man. You like my
Men
son.
don't act
My son
emotional.
is a
Men
young
don't act
man. My son
emotional.
is a young man. I'm telling another
See,
young
but
man
you're
how to think
emotional.
too. So you see,
You
that
are
sounds stupid. You see
emotional.
how stupid you
Men do
sound?
not act
I'm
emotional.
emotional.
I'm
Come
gonna
on,
please
homie.
ask you
Now
to
see,
man
now you
up.
getting
Man
disrespectful.
up.
Now you getting
Man,
disrespectful with your
you
goofy looking
disrespected me,
ass.
nigga.
Look
You
at you.
called
Look
you
at
said
you.
I ain't
Got a
no man.
turban on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You talking about you get
I got
women, bro?
dreadlocks.
Please, bro. Come on,
Man
bro.
up.
Come on, bro.
Man up.
Come on, bro. You get
Man up.
women, bro. You came on the show and talking
Man,
about you get women, bro. You was a
man
simp.
up.
You was a
You need
simp.
to man up.
You was a simp.
Man up.
You was a simp. You was a
Man up.
simp.
See,
You was a
because you
simp.
mad because the brother's
You
doing
was a
his
simp.
purpose.
Back on
You
topic.
was a simp. You was a simp,
Maybe you
bro.
just
The
a
brother
hater.
already
Yeah, can
told
we get
you.
back on topic?
Yo,
Hey, I don't need
what
to
am I?
get
Yeah,
back
there you go. There you
Thank you.
go. Like, what am I hating on you for? I didn't even talk about no women. I don't even care, homie. See, Tazadaq, see, this is the type of stuff we got to deal with in Israel. See, goofball stuff. Goofball stuff. You come on the show to talk about when they come up to me, I like Asians, are they coming up to you? Listen, bro, because you know you still watching. You lame. Since I've been talking to Tazadaq or Yashashabib, I don't have to go to him and think, do women talk to him? That's not my concern. If women like him or not. That's gay. I don't care if women like him or not. I don't even think about that. Why would I be thinking about if women like him or not? What would I be thinking about if he got women or not? That's not even what I'm thinking about. I could care less if you got a woman or not. That don't bother me. As long as you ain't running around here in no skirt, I don't care. You feel me? Some brothers got different preferences. I got brothers I grew up with. They didn't get a lot of women like that. Some did. Some didn't. So what, I'm going to judge them? Like the brother Ray that came on the show, Tazadaq, what did he say? He was like 40 years old and he was still a virgin. You didn't see me make fun of him. What for?
Yeah. Cool.
What for? Y'all remember that? What for? See, that's lame. I don't have to. Listen, look, I show my face on here all the time. I don't have to boast. That's why I said just go to my gram and you can just see for yourself. I don't have to do that. I don't have to talk about that. We're here talking about polygamy. Feel what I'm saying? You brothers want to get into a pissing contest over women. This is how you know they ain't got none.
Anyone else in the room? Oh, Yeshaya, what did you have, Yeshaya?
I'm hitting listens to the brother spar, but yeah, I was on the call. I listened to the whole thing. Yeah, you know where I stand on this situation with the multiple wives and whatnot. I said just to teach somebody that it's unlawful, that's going off. But if the brother can, the brother can afford it, brother can afford to do it, and that, by all means do it. And then two, you gotta, in this society too, if you can get the women that you're gonna get, if they on the same page, everybody on the same page, and everybody got the understanding, hey, do what you do.
I mean, we could see that, but even in ancient times, we could see that. It's not going to be perfect. Just like a monogamous relationship, so-called monogamous, it's not going to be perfect because we could see that there was even problems with Jacob's wives, right? Remember, they became competitive. Right. They became competitive when they couldn't get pregnant. They told Jacob to go into their handmaid, right?
Right.
I actually got those precepts right here. I got them right here. I was reading.
Yeah, they was having a little contest. They was having a little contest. Hey,
Right.
take my handmaid.
Yep.
Yeah, it was yeah. You know about it. But shoot,
But
think about
the thing,
what he was.
but,
Think about what Jacob. Sorry.
no, but Jacob went to him. Moses went to find his wives. The wives wasn't walking up to him. He went to go find them women. He found them women.
Right, yeah. No, you're right.
He found, but listen, he found virtue in them women. That's what he saw. He just didn't take them because they walked up to him and they had a beautiful face and a smile. He saw
Right.
something in them women, bro.
Right.
But see, that's what brothers, man. It's a cold game, bro. I don't
Right.
need a whole slew of women. I'm an Hebrew Israelite.
I was
I
gonna
don't need
bring
a
that
whole slew
precept
of
out
women.
too.
You
Right
feel
here
me?
where it
What I need a
says,
whole slew of women for? I can get a woman at any time. If a woman can get a woman, see, that's what he doesn't understand. If a woman can get a woman, what make you think I can? What make you think a man can? He just has to step up and make them choices. This is what I be talking about, Tazadaq. These brothers out here is lost. You feel me?
Yeah, they might.
You don't have to be
They focus is they focus is not in the right place. First of all, what was his point? You know, I'm not
right.
trying to take sides on that. I just wanted to ask, what was his point? What was your point? I mean, anybody can get a woman. It's not really
That's what
difficult.
was my point, bro.
he
Was
was
like,
just trying to justify being with women of other nations.
Right, Con.
fine. But my thing was when I told him, I said, it's bums that live down here in downtown LA that got women. They sleep on the cardboard, follow them on the train. It's tweakers out here. They women go to prison with them, sneak drugs and with them. What is you talking about? That has nothing to do with you being successful. Women gonna follow a leader, a man that she gonna follow him to the end of the world. And if you don't believe so, read Acts chapter 5 about Safari and Ananias when he lied to the Holy Spirit about selling the church and giving the money to all the people, bro. Then his rib went in there and lied. After he dead, she didn't even see this cat. She went in there and lied to the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit knocked her dumb ass in the dirt too. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, that's English comprehension. You can look at that scripture a multiple ways. A woman gonna follow her dude to death. To death, she gonna follow her dude. She got if he the right man, if he a good man, a good leader, and he real man. Come on, G, man, that's what I be saying, man. Understand me. It is neither here nor there. I grew up young and fast. I was only 14, 15 with a lot of money, sold a lot of dope. So I was dating a lot of older women young. So this stuff don't fade me. You feel me? My family, who I be around, they always got functions going on. And I'm gonna tell you, the women that be around, it don't take nothing to sleep with them if I wanted to. So you got to think about that, but I don't because I don't take advantage of that. So that make them draw more towards me. Don't make them more attracted to me. You understand me? Because they see me not falling. Damn, he not on me like that. You feel me? It's a game, bro. Can't fall into the trap. That's why when it speaks about a woman and Proverbs and Psalms, like you fall into a trap. You fall into her eyelids. You feel what I'm saying? She winking at you. Oh, she beautiful. She'll submit. Feel me? As soon as you get into it, she call the police on your ass. You going to jail.
Mhm.
You going to jail. You going to jail. You feel me? Then if you have a baby by you, she take you to. Now my brother didn't have 5 babies by 5 Edomite women. My older brother, one of my oldest brothers, my second oldest brother, Kahan, he didn't have 5 babies by 5 Edomite. One of the Edomite women, she became a cop and married another cop and told him he'll never see his son again. The other one, she just ran off with the kid. And the other 4 kids, the daughter and the other one, they just be listening. Bro, it's the same thing. He all on child support for all 5 of them. So, and they all submitted. They all did that. But down the line, you got to really think about it, bro. It's a purpose you're supposed to be with your woman for a reason. You giving this other woman other energy. Why you casting your pearl among the swine? And hey, yo, righteously, he got me hot. So I finna put the mic down because I really want to go off on you, though. Because I really like, man, that's some old buster stuff. Like, you want to toot your horn about some women you got. Honey, please. Like, please, boy.
And then so a lot of times, Jake always.
Listen,
I used to be around Jake. Jake like was, hey, when I was in the world, I used to have yada yada yada. Jake be lying. I ain't saying the
listen,
brother lying, but I'm just saying Jake be just be
yeah,
lying, bro.
check this out. And listen, and I'm going to tell you, I'm so cold. Listen, what he don't understand is, see, yeah, he got women. But what is he doing? See, I ain't dealing with no woman if you can't go give me no $10,000 loan from the bank. See, that's my understanding. That's what I'm doing to women. If I really want to play a game and run game on her, I need you to go get a $10,000 loan from the bank and give it to me. And I'm going to run off with it. And I'm going to get her to co-sign me a car too. Hopefully a Benz or a BMW, and I'm off on it. So, like, brothers really can't talk to me about having women and doing this and that. I've been doing this, bro. And if I wanted to, I can do that again. It ain't nothing to get you to get a woman to buy you a car, bro. See, that's what he don't understand. That's simple. But see, you rather have women, and I guarantee you, they all buy them shoes too. Like he they kid, he a little kid, they buying them shoes. You feel what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Like, this stuff ain't, man. This stuff is elementary, bro. It's Mickey Mouse, bro. Before y'all come on this show talking this, you need to be watching them videos on the simp videos and not being a simp, bro. Because it's like, I'm not going for it. And I'm going to tell every girl here, I'm not going for it. I'm going to tell you straight out the gate how to deal with them. I've been played before. I didn't have women play with my feelings. I didn't have my feelings hurt. I didn't have my heart broke. I didn't have women run game on me. I didn't have women cheat on me. They had all that. But it brought me to this experience, though, from seeing and knowing all this and doing all that. This is how.
Man, most of these women is wicked, 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 man. I don't want to hear that shit. Most of these women initiate sex more than men do, man. Because if a man is initiating sex, that's considered rape, bro. So most of the time in this world, the woman is choosing the man on who she want to have sex with, man. So these women are initiating sexual intercourse way more than men do, man. Because let's keep it 100, man. A man, once he get his nut off, man, he's tired. He sleep. He want to go to sleep. These women still want to have sex after that, man. That's why it's called. That's why in the porno industry they have orgies and gangbangs, man. Because these women can take much they can, man, and won't tap out, man. These women are the reason why we fall into this trap that we fall into, man. And that's and the simple niggas, the simple men, they latch on to that. They always want to please a woman and make her happy, man. Woman is not built up.
Let me add on to you with that. Let me add on to you to that. And they doing that too. Them simp niggas doing that too, just to say they got bitches. Salakia, just to say they got women. Just to say they got women coming over. Just to say they smoking with them. I don't do that for that. I don't do it for clout. I'm from the street. Man, I do it for the street.
I'm gonna get on these women, man, because the Israelite women, they love to point the finger at the man, man. These so-called black women love to blame everything they do on what the man did, man. They in high school, man, you see what goes on, man. You see the gossip, man. You see these women will have you fight your one of your men that you met in school over her, man, and she be laughing in the back with her friends, man. These women know exactly what they're doing from growing up from high school, man, and they just get worse and worse, man. Unless they have a man of the Lord to direct them into the right light, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be real hard for them to get out of this world, man. Because in the scriptures it said that when you have a wife, man, you do things that please the wife, which is pleasing the world, man. And when you don't have a woman, you please the Most High more, man. So Most High telling you, man, that woman are certain distraction, and she not under that light, man, of that path of the Most High, man. She going to distract you from your purpose in life, man. And her purpose in life is trying to make you serve her, man. That's why the goddess worship, man, it's been a vagina worship since the beginning of time, man. Men been worshiping vagina since the beginning of time, man. So let's keep it 100, man. These women know what they doing, man. So I don't let up on them, man. Because if you let up on them, they gonna do the wicked thing, man. They gonna do it. That's why Adam got us in the situation he is now, because he knew damn well he wasn't supposed to be doing what he was doing with that woman, man, with Eve, man. But he did it because he wanted to please her, man, instead of the Most High. And now look at us. Now look at us, man.
He clean like linen going in, man. Talk that talk, clean. Talk that talk, clean. Talk that talk, man.
Hey, Monica, go ahead and come in the room.
These women have you.
Oh,
sorry.
His wife, Monica's dude.
Oh,
Yeah, he said he's on his wife's account or something like that. I don't know.
Gosh.
These women that have you living on the street, man, and won't lose no sleep, man. I seen it. I've seen it happen to my mans, man. They'll have you out there in the cold, man, while she up in the house chilling, not losing no sleep, man. They don't care.
Yep.
Most of them do not care
That's
about
true,
your
man.
well-being, man.
That's true.
Man, listen, let's keep it 100, man. In a homeless shelter, right? There's a woman and there's a men's shelter, right? Man, these women get apartments within a year, man. I know men that been in the shelter for 10 years, 5 years, and still didn't get an apartment, man. Had a job and everything, man. My man's he was a single father. He was in the shelter with his son for 5 years, man. And they put him in a project in the PJs, man. And he was working, had a job and everything, man. They don't care about a man.
Yeah, they put my cousin in a single room. They put my cousin in a single room.
Yeah, man.
In Harlem.
Women can go in the shelter and get an apartment, a nice apartment within a year, man. Not have a job, nothing. Come on, man. You know what? Because the people that's running the shelter system is women, man. Those social workers is mostly women, man. Just like in the welfare system.
Just like the school system. Just like the school system. The school system's being ran by women, man. Most of your teachers, all of that, man.
Yeah, CPS. Who runs CPS? Man? The woman runs CPS. That's why you can have a good father in the home, and they'll make that father be able to be a demon and demonize him in front of the whole family in the system, and he then let the woman take care of the children, and the children don't be better off with the woman, and then failing in school, and they won't acknowledge none of that, man.
Shalom. Clean like linen. You got me wanting to come in the room, and I was gonna stay out there and just listen. What you're saying right now, I gotta bring it out. That's an agenda. That's an agenda to emasculate the man, and that's something that they've been doing for these past years. Right now, this is something that they have on the agenda to push, and that's to make the man lose his status and elevate the woman. So that current is out there in society right now, and everything you're saying, like that's 100% math, man. That you can't go away from that. That's 2 + 2 = 4. And I've seen it. I've dealt with it. And the less you care about the Eve, is the better off you are, because that's just gonna make them come when they know you know who you are. That's the most. And whatever that guy Frankie or whatever he was saying about this and that, I mean, you know, that's coming from the advice of many simp men, to be honest, because that's out there. Society pushes that, and it's a sad fact, but that's just what it is. And you got to have evidence of how you want to conduct yourself. If you notice Eve is not under the truth, she's going to be out there. She's going to be listening to the system, and all of these women, they have the court system in mind. Whenever they deal with you, something isn't right. The things they think about: police, the courts, and that's their go-to. So they always think and believe they have that over you. And if you know that that's the truth, you got to secure your position. And if you need them less, and you need the Most High more and yourself more, they're going to want you more. The more you start catering to them, the less value you have, because it's really equal footing in the minds of the women. They know that you are supposed to know who you are, and they check you, just like Brother Eleazar was saying about the crap test. Kahan, you were talking about it. You're always talking about it, but that's the truth, man. So I just wanted to put that out there. The polygamy situation, you know, it is what it is. You know, I mean, I look at it like this: beyond our interest in entertaining more than one woman, if the Most High allows it to exist in your reality, then you know, all praise is due to the Most High. He has a purpose for you and that situation. But I wouldn't go out of my way. I mean, you know, I'm hard enough to get as it is. So if a woman can get me to leave what I'm doing and what I'm after, and to get me out of doing what I really want to do, she really has to be from the Most High, because, you know, I'm not easy to get at all. Really. I'm not going to go into all of it, but I'm really not easy to get. And I have room to speak because I have things going on in my life. But as far as where I am today, I've been through a lot. I've talked about it in the past streams. You know, I'm just trying to stay focused, you know. The women there, you pick up and leave them. They're always going to be there. There's a lot of women everywhere, man. Everywhere you look, you see one you feel like you need to be with, or whatever, or have her. There's another one that you're going to find 50 more after that. The more you go out. So I wouldn't stress or sweat finding women. And a man's purpose is not about finding women. It's not about finding women. A man's purpose is to be who he is intended to be under the Most High. We know there are a lot of Eves out there, but look, there's a lot of men that are not leaders. So how are these women? Because we know the women take after the men. They model themselves after us. And that's just a fact. And if they can't model themselves after us because we don't know who we are, they're going to turn to Esau. And Esau has got his evil agenda all around this world to subvert what the Most High has put in order. It's about Yahweh versus the institutions when Israel said they wanted a king. And so we're paying for it. We're paying for it. And those of us that know the truth, we're going to be dealing with the ramifications of that sin.
Hey, Michael, let's interject real quick. I just wanted to get.
Oh no, I'm done, bro. You got the floor, man. I'm out.
I just want to get to the core of it, though, man. The reason why these women do not listen, man, because these women don't have no fear of the man of the Lord, man. That's why they attach themselves to these gangbangers. You know what I'm saying? To these drug dealers, the ones that's in the world that's prominent. These mobsters. You know what I'm saying? Men that have, you know, type of like that lifestyle to where they feel like other men fear. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men don't fear the men of the Lord because we know it's a visible power that's behind us, man. So that's why these women don't want to be attached to the men of the Lord, because they don't have no fear. Because in the beginning, it's about fear for other men from these women, man. Because that's the reason why Eve rebelled against God, because she didn't fear God, because the serpent came and told her she wasn't going to surely die, man. So she's like, oh, I'm not going to surely die. You know what I'm saying? I bet I'm gonna do this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because the fear wasn't installed in her, man. That's the problem, man. These women do not have the fear no more, man. They lost all fear. That's why they out here running rampant, doing what they do now, man. They don't have no fear of the destruction that's coming, man, because they haven't seen it in a long time. And women are they carnal creatures, man. They gotta see something to believe it, man. They can't read it and then visualize it in their mind and see it. They have to see it in reality for them to believe it and to have the fear in them, man. So until the fear go back into these women, man, or the men of the Most High, they ain't never gonna be right, man. They gonna be 99.8, like Tazadaq say, percent wicked, man, and 1% pure, man. It ain't gonna be right, man. That's why I'm telling you, you know, polygamy, yeah, that's the way the Most High set it up. You know what I'm saying? But if you can handle more than one headache, man, then all praises to you, man. All power to you, man. But I can't take more than 2 headaches, man, at a time, man. Because I'm gonna wanna put somebody through a wall, man. So I just wanted to say that, man. Like, I don't let up on these females, man, because these females know what they're doing. They conjugate with each other. They have their sister talk. They know exactly what they doing, man. They swear they smarter than us. They think they smarter than us, man. So they think they smarter than us. What you think they talking about, man, behind closed doors, man? Amongst each other, man.
Oh, he does. I got him paying my light bill. I got him paying my gas bill and my car note. And he don't know I'm messing with 2 other. Listen, my cousin Quita. Listen, man, we went to a party one time, man. She had all 6 of her boyfriends in there at one time, bro. We all in there laughing at these dudes. Only 2 of them knew who each other was. The other dudes just walking around. We all in there laughing.
Playing them
That
like
just goes to show you. That
playing
goes to show you.
Xbox.
Like it's. I'm like you. I ain't letting up. Cause I got 9 sisters, and I know my sisters when they used to come home from the club, they'll be drunk and they'll look in the mirror and take off their wig, and they used to always say, "I'm a bald head," blah blah blah, all the time. So I'm pretty sure they do the same thing to themselves when they look in the mirror. That's why they put on these fake lashes. And here's the cold part: the Most High made you in His best image, and you saying the Most High image ain't good enough. You gonna make yourself look better. You gonna put on longer hair, longer eyelashes, and some makeup to make your skin smooth.
It is act together. He's supposed to lead. Playing game, man.
These dudes calling Tazadaq.
I don't play no games with these women, man. You can't play this game no one because the woman wants you to stop you from being God body, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to be God body, man. You was made in the Most High's image. They don't want you to have that God body frame, mind frame, and physicality, man. That's why they want to stuff when the woman, man, she want to cook you, she want to give you a double plate, she want to stuff you up and make you unvaluable, man, to other women, man. They don't want you to. That's why mostly when you see a lot of men, sometimes, man, they be going off by eating too much, man. They women feeding them too much. They do that on purpose, man. They try to keep your ass fat, man. So you can't get other women, man.
Wow, man, you funny.
Hey, yo, baby, speaking the truth though, huh?
God, for real though,
Franklin though, huh? He be keeping it 2 grand.
Yeah, you're right. You know, Clean Light.
Working out Harlem stuff, man. You know what I mean?
Clean Light. Just to interject, man. There was this couple that came in to the warehouse while I be working at, and I was dropping them some knowledge on these herbs and stuff, and how to keep the immune system up. And the woman was there trying to say, "Well, that ain't going to help you against the coronavirus." And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, "Is this?" I was like, "Are you listening to this?" He was like, "Yeah, well, you know, she is in the medical field." I was like, "Nah." I was like, "There's no way." I was like, "For your own sake," and I looked at her and I looked at them both. I was like, "Make sure you giving this dude some greens and he get these herbs and these teas in them." And she over there trying to say, "Well, that ain't gonna help none." I'm like, "Yes, it will help, bro." So I mean, I feel you on that because he ain't cooking and she giving him all the food. And if she keep giving them bad food, that's gonna be, you know, and the same thing what you're saying. That's exactly what's going on out here for real. That's why I'm laughing at it. That thing is crazy.
Yeah, a whole bunch of Homer Simpsons out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Sing your fast in the couch on the donut, man. That's what they want you to do, man. They don't want you going to the gym. They don't want you running outside, waking up in the morning, going and exercise, man. They don't want you doing that. Because if you're doing that, they're gonna say, "Oh, you cheating on, oh, you out there cheating." You know what I'm saying? It's always some negativity, man. Most of the time, man. I'm telling you, man. I know, man. I lived it.
Hey, so Linus, who else? Monica. We need to get the other end of the spectrum in the room. Whether you agree or disagree, is polygamy helpful or harmful, and why? Where are y'all at?
And you know what, too? Sorry to Jack, man. So, you know what, too, man? Salakia. When these women always got something negative to say, always got like some issue, man, because deep down inside, they feel like they settling for you, man. If a woman's constantly arguing with you, man, constantly trying to make something a reason on why issue, it's because she feel her head she's settling for you, man. So you gotta always peep that, man. How to tell a woman like that in my relationship, like, yo, you complain too much, man. Like, you know, it's time for you to either, you know what I'm saying, you know, stop complaining and move on and move past whatever you got going on, or you can go ahead and do your thing, man. Because I'm not gonna be with the girls trying to settle for me, man. Because I'm settling for you, honestly, when it comes down to it. And that's how you should feel like a king, man. You feel like you settling for these women, man. Because we live in the last days, man. You know what I'm saying? We live in the last days. If the Mashiach came here, he would not want none of these women out here, man. He wouldn't come on, man. These women is defiled, man. These women don't know no better, man. They mothers and they grandmas ain't teaching them. They promoting all this type of wickedness outside, man. On Instagrams, all you see on Instagram, man. I hardly see women promoting what the Most High tell them to be, man. I'll never see that for real. I'm gonna be honest, man. I see twerking and taking pictures of your ass, man. True. My language, taking pictures of their backside, man. That's all they care about, man. That's all they care about when it comes down to it. It's how they body look, how they face look, what they drinking, what they eating, what designer. They don't care about the Most High, because they know deep down inside when the Most High bring that kingdom in, man, this whole reality they living in is over. And they don't want it to be over. That's why they want to go back to work again. That's why they want to go back to normal, man. Because they know that if the Most High is doing this right now, it ain't gonna be no normal left, man. That's all I got to say. I don't want to go rant too much, man. Shalom, man. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Shalom, you good, huh? Because the folks we asking to be on here, they too scared to come on right about now. So somebody got to speak.
What you got, Yeshua? Is he in here? I saw he fell out and came back in.
Yeah, Yeshua is back. What you got, huh? He's muted.
Oh yeah. Hey, the brother clean like linen was going in, man.
Yeah, man.
Well done, man. They clean like linen. You finished talking that talk? The Hebrew gangster, he's done? Hebrew gangster, you done talking that talk, man?
Yeah, he said it was good.
Okay, we can shut it down, man. We can shut it down, man. Clean like linen, you might see me on any given day, man, on 125th, man, and Malcolm X, man. You know what I mean?
I bet we congregate, man. We can politic, man, and all that.
Yeah, I used to hang out. I used to hang out in front of Adam Clayton Power a lot, man. I used to make a lot of videos over there. Things like crazy. I used to be in front of Adam Clayton Power a lot, man. You know where the Adam Clayton Power building is? I made a lot of videos. Sometimes I still feel, you know, with some of the people in the nation, the gods of earth, man. I know a lot of those people from back in the day. Yeah, the mic really messed up. But yeah, we can go ahead and shut it down, man. I just hope your Reb didn't hear none of this, man. You might have a really bad night, man.
He's sleeping on the couch.
Sleep with your eyes open. Sleep with your eyes open, King.
He's sleeping on the couch.
You might have a very bad night. You
remember the brass knuckles on the pillow.
Hey, you shy when did Denzel say after he got that coke? After he got that coke in his head? What's that laugh that he did?
Oh yeah.
He did the hillbilly laugh, man.
Yeah, he hit him with that. He hit him with the coon laugh.
Yeah, that coon laugh, man. Yeah, you started sounding just like him, man. He done that laugh after he say, "Looks white, doesn't it?" You're gonna be laughing at clean like linen. Yeah, I heard that crap you was talking on YouTube today. Talk that now. Clean like linen.
Talking now. Say it now. What's up with Darby? Anybody talk to him?
So who was that?
Darby. You ain't talk to him, Tazadaq?
No, I haven't talked to him in a minute. What's going on with him?
No, me neither.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on with that brother, man. I haven't talked to him in a minute, man. I texted him a couple times, man. Get a response.
Hope you all right.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, he's right there in Corona, man.
Yeah, right there in the building.
Yeah, Amherst is only a couple, blocks, few blocks up the way from him. But it got worse now, man. And you know, it picked up in the Bronx. But I mean, that the so-called death rate is actually going down. But
Hey,
you know, people still.
did you see that Anderson Cooper in that Las Vegas mayor interview?
Nah.
Well, you gotta check that out. It was so funny. He was clowning her because she talking about opening back up the casinos because people want to gamble, and he said, "What about social distance?" He said, "People want to gamble." Like Atlanta, they about to open up Atlanta.
Oh no, Atlanta was open since.
Yo, but it did last Friday.
What?
Yeah, that's why Yasha Boom is. Yasha Boom's there. They opened it up last Friday, man. Yeah.
They barely had it really. They barely even had it closed down, to be honest with you.
Right. They didn't close it down until April the 3rd. Yeah, man.
That nigga, man, y'all better be careful down there, Yasha, man. You better probably sleep with some ginger under your bed or something, man.
Right. Yeah.
You feel me? Or my mom put it around your neck like how they used to do in the old school 80 vampires movie. Put the garlic around your neck. You gonna have to be like that with a garlic rope and a ginger rope around your neck. Like,
yeah, I got that ginger and that turmeric on.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. If they have a huge outbreak after that, man, after they open it back up, because it takes about 14 days.
I got lemon and ginger in my water. I got the alkaline.
Yeah.
When you do the test, they water turn blue. All the other waters turn orange and red.
Oh, yeah,
test,
good.
You know what test I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like when you do the test, this water right here.
Yep.
Alkaline. You say alkaline. However you see my camera janky right now.
No, I got you. Yeah, I distill.
It turns blue, purple, like super blue, purple, like A1. I'm just buying gallons of it, putting ginger and lemon, lime, all that down in it, bro. Because I ain't gonna even lie to you, Tazadaq, sometimes, like I get a little scruffy in the throat, I'll be like, hell no, I'll be down in it, bro. I even when they got some colon cleanser because you know that stuff be in your that stuff be in your intestines, that stuff will lower your immune system too, bro. I went and got all of that, bro. Clean my whole system out. I am not playing. On my mama, I am not playing. I got colon cleanser, all that right here, bro. On my mama, I am not over the.
Don't play with it. And even after the stuff, go down, stay with it, man, because long terms it preserves us.
I got all that right here. I'm not playing. All of that, because all that stuff in your intestines, all that stuff, man. Because I didn't got stabbed in my stomach, so my lower intestines and colon, I ain't got barely a little lower intestines, and my colon only got half of one of them, so I gotta flush everything. I've been flushing, bro, straight up. I'm not taking no chance to get everything out. You feel me? And nah, I'm not gonna stop even afterwards. You feel me?
Kahan,
like
that's what I've been
lemon juice. Like people I be telling them, listen. A dude, when you told me that black people had a #1 immune system in the world, I looked it up. So I went down to a shop, little weed shop, Dude was in there. They was acting like I had corona. I said, bro, I ain't got corona. I said, black people got #1 immune system in the world. They like, no, they don't. Y'all always got it. Y'all sick, y'all dying. I said, what you want to bet? I bet $100 right now. Threw it on the floor. Then nobody want to bet. But when they looked it up, I was right. I said, yeah, you lost your $100, don't you? I said, then why black people getting corona? Because y'all eating pork, shrimp. Y'all eating that boo-boo. Y'all eating dookie. Y'all eat dookie. That's what that is. Y'all eating dookie. Y'all love putting dookie down y'all throat. Feces. You feel me? That's all it is. Feces. You are what you eat. You are what you eat. Everything that's abomination, eat feces. You are what you eat. You shit. Salakia, but I just had to say that. You are what you eat. If you eat a lot of shrimp,
we gotta do better about that, man, because they didn't flag this last channel because of so-called us having potty mouths and whatnot.
You get a lot of hate too.
I know it. And
you know who it be though, right?
Yeah, but we don't want to, burn the bridges. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
I try. I try. I got a bad mouth, man. I got a pooty mouth, man. I need orbit sometimes, man. I got a bad mouth, man. You feel me? I got a bad mouth. Like, you don't even know. Half the time I be having to stop. That's why you see me say something and I gotta stop, because I be, oh yeah, you cut.
I see you.
I be like, dang, I really want to just say something. Like, I wanted to cuss the brother out earlier, talking about, dude, I got women. Like, come on, bro. Go to my ground, bro. Who cares? It's easy. It's easy. You see me where I'm at? I'm by myself. I'm chilling, working on me. But the Most High got me on shutdown. I'm working on me. I'm getting me right. So whatever happens, if we do go back to, if we do open or we don't open, whatever happens next, I'm ready for the next stage, because the Most High helped me work on me right now, where I got a time to work on me and get right with Him, and make sure that I'm in fair content with Him. You feel me? I ain't worried about none of that, having no women right now and all of that. I stay with my cousin from the projects. We go to a function any time of the day. It's gonna be women there. Care. It's nothing. But that's not what my focus is right now, because as an Israelite, I know what time we in. Only a wise man would be a fool to not realize what time we in or what time it is, and still be doing the folly that he doing, or some of the folly that he doing considered folly. So it's time for me to work on me more. The most I give you a time to study, you at home, ain't no stress on you about going to work, ain't no stress about you going to camp, keeping no Sabbath, ain't none of this stuff. You in your house, homie. And you got time to read, you got time to study, you got time to pray, you got time to fast, you got time to do all these things the Most High wants you to do. So if you ain't doing that right now, then I guess then you not really being wise and taking heed to the warning that's about to hit, whether it come now or next week or 6 months or a year from now. You want to be straight. You feel me? Like, I'll just be looking at, you know what I'm saying, situation from the street point of view. You know, Eastside Tabernacle gonna give you straight east side way. Feel me? And it's like, I know the scriptures. I just gonna be trying to bring them out like that, because it's just like, it's pointless. I could argue with Zabak or anybody else that I disagree with or got a problem with. They gonna bring out 100 scriptures to prove that they right, because they know them. What's the point? What's the point? That's like arguing with the Pharisees. You gonna argue with the Pharisees, he gonna keep pulling scripture. With a crazy. Oh, my mom. Tazadaq, and you know it.
Well, it is.
Listen, Tazadaq, if Zabak came on this show, he gonna pull 100 scriptures trying to prove that he was right. You know it. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's why Christ, when they try to catch Christ up, he didn't. David ate the showbread. He didn't have to run to the temple to sit them down and show them in scripture and pull precepts to prove that he was right. Come on. And I ain't saying I'm Christ, but if you doing what all the scriptures doing, I can do the same thing. That's my head. I'm doing what the head do. Right? So the head did that. I'm doing what the head did. You feel me? I'm following. Because you're gonna be in situations, and we know this. It's gonna be a thirst for that word. And that Bible ain't gonna be around. What are you gonna tell the people then? How you gonna be able to speak wisdom to them to understand the Most High is who we need to follow right now, and we need to be praying and fasting. If you ain't got no Bible, how? If you locked up in the FEMA camp, how you gonna be able to pray? Right. So while you in the FEMA camp, if they get you in one, you need to be fasting and praying, so the Most High give you deliverance to speak to the people, so you can raise up out of there. Because you ain't gonna have nobody. You ain't gonna have no cell phone or look up no 24-hour Google. Google, she up 24 hours. You ain't gonna be able to do that. See, they don't think like that. Me, some people have their opinion. I do smoke weed, but I do because I'm an Aquarius. I'm a thinker. I have a thinking problem. I think a lot. That's why when I was in the world, I got into a lot of mischief, and I was able to survive. Plus, the Most High first saved me first. He gave me the knowledge to be wise, to outthink, to be able to live to this point. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm a thinker. You feel me? If I want to do something or get someone, I'm a thinker.
You snuck in one on me just now, though. About how you smoke because you're a thinker and you're an Aquarius. So if
no, check me out. Because listen, all that where you whether you know or not, it plays a part, because some people say it gives you euphoria, but it doesn't. Now for some people, when they smoke, it makes them think. Me, I'm a thinker, so it makes me even think more in depth about what I'm reading, or about what I'm seeing and what I'm visualizing. Because when you read, you visualizing it in your head. So when you want a euphoria like that, it's gonna make you even visualize it even more vivid. You won't be able to get the thoughts out your head. It's gonna make you ponder on it. And it's gonna make you look up what all of this stuff means around it. Two, your lunar solar system has everything to do with how you is and all that other stuff. Not to say that I follow it, but I do read other material. I study one thing, Yashabin. I study one thing, but I read everything else because knowledge is power. You feel me? Because you'll be able to read people. You'll be able to read people. You feel me? And like I know that because one of my friend girls, like as in like my little buddy, as in like, we off and on. She, she an Aquarius. You feel me? She the same sign as me. It's the same thing. We do the same thing. You feel me? Like her energy change, I be on her. My energy change, she be on me.
Well, I mean, from a biological standpoint, there are, there's similarities between folks that are born, around the same time, but the way the Most High made us, you have control to be how and whoever you choose to be. So even though you say you do
born with special listen, the Most High got all that.
Think some more, but wait a minute, I got you. That's still you using something that's still you using something to bring out who you think you are. You should be able to do that.
No, because that's confusion. Because I'm not using that to bring out who I am. I'm using that to tell you that based on that aspect of me knowing my traits about who I am. You feel what I'm saying? Because I get along with Geminis, I get along with Libras, and I get along with Leos. Them people right there, I know for fact. My cousin a Gemini.
Yeah, but
listen to me now. Every girl I ever dated, listen to me. Hear me out. Hear what I'm saying. Every girl I ever dated been a Gemini or a Libra. Those are the signs I'm compatible with. I don't get along with Virgos
but
or
that's
Scorpios.
not what I'm really focused on. I'm focused on you. Like you
listen to what I'm saying though. You're not understanding what I'm saying. Okay. So if I was to say, I read a lot and then I study I read the book of Sun Tzu, The Art of War. You feel me? And it tells you about this and that. It's the same thing. It's me describing how I'm thinking. You feel what I'm saying? It's the same thing. You just can't rely on the scriptures and the Bible to say this is how you think and this is who you are. Because it's more than just that knowledge out there of the world. You have to be in tune with everything around you because that's the power.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not
saying you are. I'm not saying you are.
To think.
I'm just trying to show you my angle because I don't want you to think that I was thinking like, oh yeah, I'm reading astrology like you're in Aquarius and blah blah blah.
No.
That plays a part in everything and how you live. Like for example, by you being born on the date that you born, by the parents you born, and the year and the season, that's all a plan of the Most High, because it's gonna give you certain things about you. That's gonna make you who you are.
I got that part. All I'm saying is that you don't have to smoke. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm smoking, homie. I mean, there's no scripture that says you don't. And I love when people bring up that scripture where they say Judah loved to put the branch to their nose, because if you know anything about botany, weed is a root, and root don't grow branches. Only a tree grow branches because the branches bear fruit. A weed kills all trees, stuff like that. So you got to understand the whole. So what does that really mean? You feel me? See, I know stuff like this.
I'm just saying you don't have to smoke to make yourself think. You can bring yourself.
I didn't say I did.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's the part I misunderstood because you said you like to think, and when you do that, you think more.
Now you misunderstood me, guys. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why you misunderstood me, because I'm still talking. Because I'm talking street to you. Now, in reference, when I mean it, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna tell you where you got. I'm gonna tell you where you got confused. Listen, I'm gonna tell you where you got confused. When I said I'm a thinker and I be smoking, so it make me think a lot, you got the impression that I was saying I'm smoking to make me think a lot.
No,
That's
to
not
think
what I was
more.
saying.
To think more, because I related
No.
directly to my sister.
Have you ever smoked before in your life?
Yeah, Eliezer, let me just say this though. When you the substance inside of the THP, right? THC, I think it's called THC, right?
THC?
That's what. Yeah, right. THC, right?
Uh-huh.
That it goes to your brain, right? It's attached to some called the
hypothalamus,
right? Which the hippocampus is opens that.
Hey, Clean Light, your connection is really bad. We miss you.
Drug is not you can hear me? You hear me?
No, you're going in and out.
But I heard a little bit what you said. But weed is not a drug because you got that based on what Esau considered it. No, you're still breaking up.
Well,
no,
it's not a drug. It was used. I'm just saying you don't have to use that in that way.
But
because I definitely misunderstood you.
Because
I thought I heard you saying that you're a thinker, and when
because
you do,
the
think more.
You don't get what I mean by thinking.
When you abuse it, it becomes a drug. When you abuse it, it becomes a drug.
It's not a drug.
See, when you abuse the substance THC, it becomes a drug.
Listen, I was waiting for you to finish that. That's what I was gonna say. THC, the THC you talking about, brother, that's found in the soil. That's found in your fruit. That's found in oranges. That's found in apples. That's found in every fruit that you can imagine. THC is found in. What you think grows the fruit? What you think nitrogen is?
Yeah, but it's manipulated. It's manipulated.
No, it's
when it comes
not
to weed.
manipulated.
It's manipulated.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You can't manipulate it. You can't manipulate THC. All you can do is fertilize the soil that you is to make it more potent. That's all you can do to make the tree more strong. So if I put it, listen, if I put listen, if I put some regular soil on a plant to grow, it'll take a long time. Understand me? If I was to put a carcass, preferably a human body, under a tree and grow it, that tree would grow fast. I wouldn't even need to water the plant. I wouldn't even need to feed it for at least 3 years. So I know.
I wrote it down.
Listen. My granddad was a landscaper for years. So I was getting trees from him when I was 12 years old. He's been a landscaper for years. So I know everything. I don't say everything. I know anything you can almost talk about when it comes to plants, to bushes, or pretty much anything high botany. I can just tell you about it, bro. Because my grandfather was a landscaper his whole entire life. All right. And maybe we'll get up on this the next one. But yeah, no, y'all should be. I feel you though. I'll stop one day. But right now, you see my hands.
Well, this would be the first time though.
They see my hands. See, they look clean to you. And see the post-traumatic stress I go through and the stuff that I done. You can't even. You wouldn't even want to be in my brain for again. You feel me? I need distractions.
I don't feel
distractions.
I'm definitely.
I definitely need distractions, bro. I definitely need distractions.
I got you.
Like something to take me somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Outside of the light and the Lord, I feel you.
Right. I appreciate you having concern for my health. I know you got love for me. I know you doing that out of love, not out of malice. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't want you to think I take that the wrong way. Feel me? You know? But yeah, it's just how it is, man. But I'm just like
I'm an Aquarius too. So that's all. I don't think I'm
an Aquarius too. See, that's why you know.
I don't think I need to do that to think more. I know I don't.
No, because see, one thing about us, once you get your mindset on something, you're not going to do it. So that's you. There's no way you're going to do it because your mind is set on something. I know my sign. Your mind is set on that. You head strong and you focus. One thing about Aquarius, we clear-minded and focused. You focus on that. So I know you're not going to do it. You feel me? I can respect that. Feel me? Straight up. I can respect that. I
All
don't
right,
blame him.
prayers and peace to you, Ak.
Yeah, Aquarius. Yeah, man. Aquarius love, homie. My birthday on the 9th too, man. You feel me? So you know, like, but you know, I just hope that as when this thing is all over, man. I don't know, man. I don't want it to go back to normal, but in such a way, I'll be honest. One side of me saying a piece of me, I ain't even side. The other side is like saying I want it to open, and the other side saying no, because in such a way, like I want to, you know. But then it's like, man, take this mug. You know what? Take this mug down. But realize after talking to y'all tonight, I don't want it to go back. I don't want it to reopen. I don't want it to go back to normal. I want this mug to go down like it's supposed to. Straight up. Forget
The
going back
plague
to.
will come in one day.
I ain't saying I'm ready. Like I can handle the plagues. Like I'm not gonna be scared. But we just had an earthquake here the other day too, man. 2 days ago we had an earthquake. It hit hard too, y'all. When I was asleep on the floor, it was like 2 in the morning. I was asleep.
What scale was it?
It was a 3.8, but that mug, listen, the Most High, because you know in the Scripture, you know when the Most High, you know, step on this earth, man, it's shake. That's what the Scriptures say. You know what I mean? It says when the Most High came up when it put it, the earth trembled. So listen, my boy, when I say he stepped on the ground, I was laying on the ground. I was laying on the ground. I was laying right here, asleep, on the floor right here, because I played my little game right here. My cousin, I was playing the game and said, "We tearing him up." I fell asleep. Ooh, I'm asleep. Yo, my mama, like I'm not a heavy sleeper. It just hit out of nowhere. Boom, 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 boom. The whole house was shaking. I jumped up. I'm right by the front door. I jumped up, ran to the front door, opened it, and stood right in the middle of it. You gotta stand in that thing. You feel what I'm saying? That's what they tell you to stand there. I was like, man, listen, it woke me up. When I say it woke me up, I was up till like 7 the next morning. I fell asleep. I was up. Shook.
3.8 though?
Yeah, bro, that's hard. That's still hard, bro. Don't think listen, bro.
Hold on, you in the building?
Yes.
Oh,
bro, that's still hard, bro.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
This shit is old. It's hollow, bro.
Yeah,
Look,
you're right. You're right.
It's cracks it's all type of cracks in the ceiling, bro. Listen, when it hit, it's boom, boom, boom. Even if it's it is still going, yeah, like it's shaking like your core. It shook like a hard one gonna make a boom sound.
Yeah.
When the earthquake hit, whenever, if people don't know, when an earthquake hit, it's gonna make a loud boom sound like a bomb went off. And it's gonna keep on going boom, 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 boom. The louder it is, it's gonna hit. Boom, like somebody just boom, boom. It's gonna be hitting. The wall is gonna, you can listen. It's gonna be a loud boom. You know that boom. There's no boom like that in the world. None. Your ears is trained to that boom. You feel me? As soon as it hit, it's boom, boom, boom. You like, whoa. And you can't move, you can't run because the ground's shaking like you got skates on. You feel me? Telling you.
Yeah. It sounds like it's kind of like being bombed. And yeah, that ain't no joke.